Welcome to the first set and the first game of the day. In the blue, we have ACCM playing as the Incas, and in the red, we have Sitaux playing as the Mongols. Now, this is I think this is a elimination match for the group stage for King of the Desert 4, which means that whoever loses this match will not go to the next round, will be out of the tournament. I think that's the order in which we're playing things here. Of course, the reason why we're starting with the elimination matches today instead of ending with them as we did yesterday is probably scheduling as well. Like for example, we're playing for ACCM. The earlier it is, the better, because Vietnamese time, it's already almost evening there. Even though for me it's like smack in the middle of the morning. So, anyways, good stuff. But that will mean that there's a lot at stake here for both players. They will definitely not want to lose this match. And between the two, I don't know who would lose here or who would win here. As ACCM is already forward with his eagle, could try to lame this if he's gonna try that. But Sitaux does have a scout around, so I don't think ACCM is probably not gonna risk a scout there. But just getting some scouting information in is already good. He already knows where his opponent is. And I wonder if Sitaux is going to be prompted to stick around this front rhino here, just to make sure that Sitaux doesn't lame that. ACCM doesn't lame that because ACCM does not see that, but Sitaux, of course, wants to keep a scout around just to make sure that doesn't happen. I wonder, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it? No, he's going to do it. ACCM, the scout is right next to it. Jeez, I know MBL is legendary for lures where, his opponent tries to stop him and he can't do it. But ACCM is like, nah, mate, I can do this as well. And here we go, first lame of the game, also first game. So expect a bunch of laming then. Also remember, Sitaux is Mongols. He wants this freaking rhino. He wants this rhino. He must have this rhino. But honestly, Sitaux, like, if you can't stop this eagle, just go for the counter lame already. Although, oh boy, he's gonna have to be fast about it because that rhino is on the back of ACCM's base. It's gonna be difficult to steal. Ay. Oh boy. Oh, nice blocking there from Sitaux, trying to make sure that the rhino, gets outside of the range of the eagle, but the ACCM doing a great job sticking around. It's very difficult to continue to block the rhino because it will try to find its way around you. Therefore, you have to move around, honestly. Now, another strategy like what you see right here is blocking the eagle, right? The scout cavalry is slightly faster than the eagle, so it can actually do this. You start killing it and to make sure that the rhino kills it. But yeah, unfortunately, Sitaux will have to yield this boar. I keep calling it boar, it's a rhino, to his opponent. So Sitaux now, he's going to be looking for it. He's going to be looking for where's your rhino? Where's your rhino? Because I'm going to counter lane, because Mongols losing a hunt like that is kind of a problem. Loom as well. Sitaux, he sees it now. He sees it now. Did you see that? He sees it. Oh, but ACCM is like, nah, I'm going to bring in that rhino. Oh, Sitaux, he's going to be so pissed. He's like, no. I pick Mongols, and then you steal my rhino. Just, like I always say, if you're up against Mongols, chances are you're gonna get lamed. But if you are Mongols, chances are opponent will lame you to nerf you the big time. And yeah, the Inca player will be very happy having 3 rhinos to take from. Lots of extra food for him. And for the Mongol player, you basically now have to use your bonus to get back to the normal amount of food you normally get. That's the irony now. Take hunt and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult for Sitaux because like the one thing that makes Mongols so nice in the Arabia setting is that early laming, right? The early food you get from hunt, so you can get up fast and go for a scout rush. But that's not really going to be the case this time around. I don't think the Mongols can really use that bonus this time. And now you're up against Incas, which the longer it goes, the better it gets for Incas because they have so many options to deal with you. Now, Sitaux will be able to get the amount of food. He's made a few farms as well. He's going to be slightly delayed, but a few seconds here. A few seconds, but look at the food count. You'll see the food count spike for ACCM in a bit, and also look what he's doing. He's using his food to go for some men-at-arms with Incas, which makes a perfect bunch of sense to me. Because Mesosiv, because of course you don't get. Wait, did I call him a Mesosiv? I mean a Southern America Civ, whatever you want to call it. I know. It's just a term. It's just a term that people have been using because it was always Mayans and Aztecs, and then Incas was added later. But by that time, we already always called them Mesosiv. So you know, what are you gonna do? But yeah, you of course don't get scouts, so you cannot go scouts. So man-at-arms is the most common opening, if not just straight archers. Although that might be a bit risky. So yeah, ACCM wants to follow up his lane with some additional pressure. Now, I'm not sure if Sitaux knows about the man-at-arms, but he sees the mining cap. He sees it's walled in a little bit. He sees that it's 2 villagers on there. Actually, 3 villagers. So that might still mean straight archers, but I think he should definitely check here to see if men-at-arms are coming his way. And ACCM is going to arrive right at the time that he gets up to the next stage. And it's Sitaux now dropping an archer range. Okay, he does see it. So he's walling in his villagers, so at least his villagers cannot be denied. But that doesn't mean that the men-at-arms cannot still do some damage. Lots of extra quick walls are necessary now to wall in villagers, to protect your villagers. And so ACCM can just run around with his men-at-arms and try to do some damage here. Yep. It's also funny. I don't know why, but for some reason militia seem to be faster to me than men-at-arms are, even though their movement speed is exactly the same. I don't know what that is. Kind of weird. They look faster. I mean, maybe it's just a moving animation. They like walk faster, whereas men-at-arms they still make the same distance, but their animation makes them seem slower. I don't know. That might be it. Now, Sitaux is, of course, going to go for double archery range. Ooh, double archery range. You don't often see that anymore at the pro level because it is a risky investment because it can get countered by one range skirmisher. So let's see what ACCM does. Okay, now he sees that second archery range and immediately cues a skirmisher behind it. So ACCM, he sees, okay, you're going to go heavy into archers, so I'm going to counter that with one range skirmishers. Good stuff. Also has gone for the small walls, right, to keep the enemy out of the back part of his economy. His gold is forward though, so he's also got a wall in front of that gold. And with all that laming shenanigans, we didn't really get to talk about the gold spots for our opponents here. ACCM is trying to take down this archer, but yeah, Sitaux should micro that away. We got a forward goal for Sitaux as well. You know, we already saw that, of course, on this hill, which he is walling on top of, which I like. This is a good way to wall in front of your goal, because this is hard to kill for your opponent before they can make use of that hill. For ACCM, also an awkward hill on this side, as well. Lots of awkward hills in front of their base. Forward goal for him, but both players have back berries. Both players have black wood lines as Sitaux loses his scout. Yeah, Archer's now coming forward to push away these men-at-arms. They haven't done that much damage for ACCM, but they have caused a whole lot of idle time for Sitaux. So as far as I'm concerned, the lane combined with the early pressure, doing a really good job from ACCM to get the lead here. Now, still, the Vil counts are exactly the same, but yes, ACCM is now going to try to push away this Archer army with his own an army of his own here. Oh, Sitaux losing an archer there. Very nice early pressure there for ACCM, getting 2 archers and also bringing in some eagles. And oh man, more pressure coming forward. Look at the army count. It's not even close. It's 12-4. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah, that's going to be rough. Now I can tell you that. And you might have to tower this in a second, as we have skirmishes now coming out from Sitaux because he needs something. Although a tower is not going to save you from men-at-arms, it's not going to save you from eagles, because they will happily run under your tower and kill you then. ACCM, though, deciding not to hit the gold, allowing Sitaux basically to still make archers. Like, at the moment that the villagers are taking off a gold, that's when you can't make archers anymore. As an archer goes down again for Sitaux. KD has not been even at all. It's been mostly in the favor for ACCM these early battles. He's also made a spearman, which is... You know, spearmen aren't really good in these fights because both archers and skirmishers counter spearmen, but they are faster than men-at-arms, so they can actually chase down skirmishers. As Sitaux is fighting with villagers right now, trying to get to kill this archer army, as the eagles and the men-at-arms getting a lot of value as well. Many archers for Sitaux going down at the same time. The army count 14-4, and now... a villager going down. It's Sitaux. He's just kind of stuck standing around the gold, not knowing what to do. At least the villagers are. He's getting archer army. He's going to try to push away ACCM, but ACCM looking strong. I must say, like, in between the two, you know, I mean, I'm more familiar with ACCM as a player, and it's seems like Sitaux is having trouble already dealing with ACCM's aggressive pressure here at the start of the game. So we'll see how that's going to go. For now, still defending, but yeah, ACCM, this is why going double range archery range is so difficult to do. Especially against an Eagle Civ, which can easily add in a few Eagles as well. As Sitaux is going to panic drop a tower here to try to push this army away. And this is why it's so easy, right, to go for one range skirmisher. You just make a few skirms, and all those archers do nothing. Now you got 2 ranges of investment, and all your archers are dead. Tower does go up. So ACCM is going to abandon the area now, but ACCM looking to click up here. Sold his stone as well, you know, just to get to buy some food and click up himself. And Sitaux is not going to be able to click up anytime soon here because he's still stuck making a whole bunch of military. Yet there goes ACCM. Way before Sitaux can click up, and oh, Sitaux wanted to get the walls up, and that's not gonna happen. Has to defend again, and now you're stuck defending with skirmishers against an Eagle Civ. Eagles that can easily chase down your skirmishers and kill them. Oh, this is not looking good for Sitaux at all. Not looking good. Eco KD is 2-0, but look at the KD. That is what all that matters. 19-8. It's been double the kills for ACCM here. The battles he has been taking have been so much better for him. As villagers fighting against the Eagles, because why not? Why not? Now it seems like ACCM's army is finally going to be cleaned up here, but as ACCM is killing a farm. Whoops, misclick. That happens. Yeah, the Eagles will probably just run away here. Or chase down this last skirmisher, because why not? Why not? But I guess there's too many skirms now to deal with. So, but yeah, ACCM, he knows, I mean, Sitaux, he knows that ACCM is up. He knows. Like, he's trying his best, selling everything he has, selling his, he can't sell stone because he dropped the tower. Selling his woods, trying to buy as much food as he can, but he cannot avoid the fact that ACCM is going to be about 40 seconds ahead to Castles. And also, look at what ACCM has been doing in the meantime. He's just walling up the entire quarter of the map right here. Look how much walling he's done at this point. And Sitaux is going to be like, I want to get in here and try to attack his gold from the left side and all these other golds. Nope, look at all this stone that's safe now. Look at all this gold that is safe. The main gold is rather safe now. I mean, it's not like impossible to get to, but it's safe enough. As Eagles for ACCM are still raiding Sitau's base. Might even get another villager here. Or not. Maybe this villager then. As Sitaux walls in his wood line. But again, villagers having to run away from the wood line. Very inefficient. These villagers can't drop off their wood now because they're walled into the wood line. Or can they? Maybe sideways. I'm not sure if it is possible diagonally. As... Oh god. I mean, did you guys think there's a hole? Of course there's a hole. Of course there's a freaking hole. Of course there's a freaking hole. I told you. I was just looking at it. It's like, there's gotta be a hole. There's gotta be a hole. It's Asian houses. There's always a hole. There's always a freaking hole because of the bamboo. It's just impossible to spot. I don't know what it is. You gotta scan it with palisade. If you gotta like take a palisade, just take a palisade wall and scan around your buildings. If you can place it anywhere in your buildings, there's a hole. It's the only way to do it. The only way. And look at the amount of house walls that Sitaux has to do now to keep these freaking eagles out. That's 5 eagles, and look at the amount of idle time it's causing. I mean, it's just holes everywhere. Exactly. Especially because with all the hills on the King of the Desert, you know, this map allows for a lot of hills as the Eagle Warrior upgrade comes in, which will allow these eagles to fight under TCs, will allow them to survive. To kill villagers much quicker, and Sitaux is just trying to keep himself alive, but I mean, he's in Castellates, but he doesn't have any army whatsoever, and he's actually making cavalry archers now against eagles. So not only do cavalry archers not do that well against eagles, you know, they can run away from eagles, that's true, but that's about it. You need to micro them constantly. You have to micro them, because the eagles will just keep chasing you, and the eagle player's not going to micro his eagles. He's just going to say, chase that, and the eagles will chase that forever. So you just have to keep running and sniping, and in all that time, the Eagle Civ player, he's just like, you know, I'm just going to add economy and add some town centers here, because why not? Something that the Mongol player can never do here. As more eagles are coming out, and ACCM, he's not even all in anymore, because he's gotten some stone out, and he's dropping another town center on stone. So he's thinking about a forward castle. And a forward castle would be great indeed. It's so difficult. It's so difficult to counter Inca's action. This is why they're actually maybe one of the more underrated Metro civs or Eagle civs in the game. It's because when they go Eagles, normally the response to that could be, oh, I'll go long swords to counter that. Yeah, you do not want to do that against Incas, because Incas, the moment that they see a longswordman come out, they'll make slingers, and slingers absolutely wreck longsword. Absolutely wreck them. And Sitaux for now, defending with some cavalry archers. It's 45 villages to 53. That's going to get worse and worse for Sitaux as he's still on 1 TC. So he's basically all in now, that's for sure. As Eagles, every time he goes to the left, the Eagles come in on the right and snipe more villages. And look at that eco KD as well, 7-0 for ACCM. Sitaux has not been able to do anything at ACCM's base so far. Sitaux has just been constantly defending his own base. Lots of idle time as well. The worker efficiency is almost only 50%. So half of the time, basically, villagers aren't working. That's basically what that means. Half the time, villagers aren't working. Or at least some villagers are working so little that it's like his entire population is only working half. It's, yeah, it's not very good. Now, the cavalry archer number is growing, and they can kill eagles, right? That's true. Especially if you get husbandry on these, then they can run away from eagles easily. You know, they can easily kill eagles. But, oh, Sitaux, you got a micro. Yeah, running right into the Eagle Warriors, which, remember, have a bonus versus cavalry, which applies to cavalry archers as well. It's not very close right now. Sitaux needs a miracle. He needs to get some form of a counter in, but I don't think ACCM is ever going to let him do it. Look at this. Sitaux has not been back at ACCM's base. He doesn't even know about the walls on the left. He just doesn't. He's going to find out the hard way. Oh, he's not even going to find out. He's not even going to find out. He doesn't even know he can't go for a counter raid here. His villagers just keep getting stuck into this wood line. You know, Sitaux has one safe place of economy, but that wood line is going to run out at some point. You need to expand beyond it. As the cavalry archer number, we've got 20 right now. I mean, this is... If anything can save you from a situation like this, then Mongol cavalry archers could do it, right? Because they fire faster, they're actually pretty strong. They're like the Ethiopians of cavalry archer civs. But, I mean, look at the eco difference. 69. Nice. Villages for ACCM, only 48 for Sitaux. Ay. As we get a university now for Sitaux, he wants to get ballistics out so he can easily snipe those eagles. And he's getting to a number now where he can actually start one-shotting these eagles, right? I mean, that must be said as well. It's only 55 HP on those, 5 pierce armor, so what you need is, let's see, that's 8 damage, 3, It's like 18 shots, basically. So if you have 18 cavalry archers, you can one-shot, you can one-shot eagles. Look at that. Look at that. Now ACCM has to run away from this. Now he has to run away from this, because now we get to a number of cavalry archers where fighting this with just eagles won't do the trick anymore. You know, you'll just get kited to death. And now, you know, Sitaux will probably think about a counterattack, but the ACCM has been walling behind this palisade wall. Should probably do it on this side as well. At that point... his economy is just untouched, super secure, 3 down center boom. And look at that, the cavalry archers are over here, and now there's eagles everywhere, right? It's just like eagles. Every time you try to go away, the eagles just keep getting in. And this is the thing with cavalry archers. Yes, they can one-shot eagles now, but only if you keep them together. Only if they're kept together, which means that if there's 2 groups of eagles, you have to choose which one to chase. You cannot chase both. Because if you chase both, they will just turn around and attack you. As we have, let's see, now this left group of eagles going down. As you can see, Mongol cavalry archers pretty beastly. Like, sometimes people forget about the fact that Mongol cavalry archers are actually really good as well, because they fire faster. You don't always have to go for Mangudai. You know, you can mix them in as well. Honestly, like seriously, if you can afford it, just make some Mangudai and cavalry archers. That will get your numbers up much faster than just Mangudai. So we've got some scorpions now for ACCM to counter the cavalry archers, and the cavalry archers have to be scared of that one. You know. And remember also that Sitaux, he's gonna run out of gold there sooner or later as well. So he better keep his cavalry archers alive as good as he can. Snipes 2 scorpions though, very nice. Can still go, you know, can still kite these eagle warriors easily. Yeah, like, we're at a number now where eagle warriors are not gonna do the trick, but ACCM with 94 villages to 49. Yeah, he can easily click up the imp here in a sec. If he just stops making some units here, if he just idles his production queue for a second there, he could probably get up the imp here. See, castle back home. He didn't even go for a forward castle, like something risky that could lose him the game. No, he just castled at home. He's just like, you know, I'm just going to keep you at your base. I'm going to do everything I can do to secure my base before you get here. Look at that. There's almost not even a hole anymore in these walls. ACCM does need to finish the house walls there, though. And then these cavalry archers will have to push in through the middle, which is not ideal. 27 Eagle Warriors on the field, and now ACCM is like, okay, now I'm gonna make the counter. Now I'll make a unit that can kill cavalry archers. And Sitaux has gotten to a nice mass of cavalry archers here. And then the skirmishers, the elite skirmishers come out, and then you still can't do anything with them. Oh god. Sitaux better do some damage now. It's very important because there's a little window here where no elite skirmishers are out yet for ACCM. This is the moment. If Sitaux wants to do some counter damage, this is the moment. And ACCM has been pretty greedy behind that eagle spam, you know, going for a lot of economy. But, I mean, if you have 109 villagers, losing a few isn't the biggest deal, and also you can always add more. So Sitaux, he has to kill like what, 50 villagers here to even out the vill counts. He has to kill 50 villagers. That's how bad it is. And Sitaux, it's like he sees it. He sees it. Look at this. He sees the economy. He's like, nah. He's, you know, he couldn't be sure, right? He couldn't be sure whether ACCM was all in eagles or not. But he sees 3 town centers. He knows ACCM as a player. He's like, yeah, you have 100 villagers, don't you? And he's like, yeah, never mind. This is impossible. There's no way I'm going to get to kill 50 villagers to even this out. There's just no way. You know, booming myself is just not a possibility anymore. And then it's just going to be elite eagle warriors with elite skirm next to it. And cavalry archers will absolutely die to that. I mean, Mongols were going to have a hard time against Incas anyways, but the way that ACCM played this, very strong. Like, the amount of pressure was smothering. I think most players would have succumbed to that. Sitaux lasting very long, actually. Even surviving with cavalry archers, which is better than crossbows in this case, because they can actually kill eagle warriors. You know, they do 3 damage instead of 2. But man, it's been domination from ACCM with the early aggression, man. It's just Sitaux wasn't able to do anything about it. He couldn't stop what ACCM was doing at home. It's not his boom going on, and then just the eagle spam from ACCM was just very difficult to deal with. It took until Sitaux had a ball of cavalry archers like this that it was that he was able to push out a little bit and defend himself and kill eagles. But by that time, ACCM had what, 110 villagers. Boom. Not even close. Yeah, the KD should have evened out by now. Yeah, as you can see, Sitau's KD is getting much better now. But remember the KD as it was at the start of the game. Look at this right here. Look at the amount of military that ACCM brought out, right? And look how little military Sitaux got on the field. And trust me, this is not like a case of, the pro player didn't make enough military to survive. No. This means that he made military, but it kept dying. So he made the same amount of military, it just kept dying. You know, and look at that. Only later on did he get military out finally. But by that time, look at the eco difference. Jeez, that's just not even close anymore. It's just double the eco. Double. Literally double. That's not even an over-exaggeration. Look, I mean, not double the resources, because that's not how eco works. But at some point, it would have been double the resources for sure. Double eco does lead to double resources, doesn't it? Yeah, literally double. That's hilarious. And look at them peak APMs. That's a lot of APM extra, and that was your lame. So Sitaux, very fast player, and that I do know that Sitaux is a very fast player, very aggressive. But if you smother him with your own aggression, then you can always stave off his aggression. I'm telling you, sometimes the best defense against aggression is your own aggression. So yeah. First game does go to ACCM. Now they'll probably they probably have already started with the second game, so let's get into that as well. Let's see how far behind we are. Like 5 minutes. That's okay. That's totally fine. We'll go into the second game. We'll start catching up here. And see what the players are going to go for. See if I can find a game. Yep, there it is. Let's get into this and catch up here. Here we go. Perfect stuff. Should not have too much spec delay here. At least I hope so. Get a sip of water. Perfect. And welcome to the second game here between Sitaux and ACCM. And oh, interesting. We got ACCM going for Hans, the risky pick that he had, because Hans, good civ, but Sitaux has gone for Indians. And if Sitaux has been paying attention to what Tato did to Leary yesterday, right? Where Tato had Indians and Leary had Huns. Leary, he did everything he could do possibly. Well, maybe not everything, but he tried as much as he could with Huns against Indians, and he just couldn't freaking make it work because Tato played it really well. Now, also yesterday, there was what was it? Was Slam versus Velez? I think so. It was Slam Velez, as we have a lame now for Sitaux. I told you, laming is going to be the part of the game, because Sitaux is probably kind of mad at ACCM now for laming. And that's a fun thing. Laming is it happens more frequently if one player starts laming, because then players will they'll just keep laming each other. And Sitaux has gone forward immediately and happens to find a Rhino at the front of ACCM's base. So yeah, ACCM is now down some food. Even worse if you're Huns, because you needed that early food boon or something. Now, as I was saying, Slam versus Velez, right? Slam also had Huns, and he made it work. He made it work with awesome strategy. Was Slam Velez, right? Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm remembering the names correctly here, but in any case, the Hun player played so well, offensively. First, he went for Knight. So it wasn't Slam, because Slam always went for Cavalry Archers. It wasn't Slam. What's the different set? Was it Nika Dogao? Oh, it was Dogao, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, it was Dogao. Yeah, he was down 2 games, and it was looking not too good for Dogao, but he played out of his mind that third game yesterday, and he played Huns, against Indians. Indians basically being a counter to Huns. Not as much as Berbers. Berbers are like a full hard counter to what Huns can do. Doesn't mean that Berbers always win, but it's definitely a struggle for Huns. Indians, they have camels. That makes it difficult for Huns to do one of their 2 favorite things, which is spam cavalry. The other thing is cavalry archers, but Indians can always they can just match that, right? Match the cavalry archers from the Hun player. Yes, Huns have cheap cavalry archers, but at least Indians get good cavalry archers on their own as well. So hey, now the way that Dogao beat Indians here is basically by debating his opponent into thinking that he was going to go for cavalry archers, and his opponent therefore went for crossbows and for skirmishers and not for camels. But then suddenly he started making 2 stable knights, and just his opponent was like, "You're making knights against Indians, really?" And just didn't switch into camels until it was too late. And by the time that the camels came out, then suddenly the cavalry archers came out. So using the flexibility of Huns can give you the win here. Because remember that Huns are more flexible at that than Indians. Indians kind of lack the entire knight line, right? So it's tough struggling for them. So we'll see how that's going to go. Sitaux, yeah, coming back to scout now, because after his lame, and look at that. That's lucky too. Running straight across the map and immediately running into a Rhino. No hesitation whatsoever. Now ACCM is not going to go for a counter lame here. He's just pushing in a zebra to balance out his food economy, and there is that. Now as for his map, has forward berries, has a back gold. It is a back gold, but it's still not that safe because it's so open on ACCM's front. Look at that. That's 4 wood lines basically. Yeah, this counts as a wood line as well, I guess. 4 wood lines, and they're all in a circle. Look at that. It's like a crescent-shaped wood line here. Wow, I've never seen him generate that nicely in a circle. Half a circle. That is kind of annoying if you're quite in the middle of that circle. You would rather be next to a wood line, huh? Anyways, a drush coming in here from Sitaux, using that extra food to quickly get some militia out. And yeah, ACCM clicking up now. Its economy is already quite fragile because missing that food does mean, well, you have less food. So let's see what Sitaux can do with this militia. And oh, a trap! We have a nice little gate trap there for ACCM. Let me just rewind a little bit so we can see that a little bit more. So we got a gate trap on this side. Look at that. Making sure the scout cavalry goes that way. Gate on this side. Gate on the other side. Nice, perfect gate. Oh, that's perfect. See, that's what the time controls are for. Yeah, and the ACCM is gonna be stuck in Sitau's base. Does see the barracks though. Knows that Sitau is not up yet, so you should probably expect a rush now. And there it is. There it is. And ACCM a bit on the back foot, and Sitau proving that yes, ACCM definitely had my number in the last game. But if I can get my own aggression out and I don't get lamed, I can do stuff as well. And ACCM scout's just gonna go down to a loomed villager, as the scout goes down as well. So at least it's even in that front. But yeah, ACM is going to lose his scout. That villager does good job killing it, and there you go, nice little trap. A viper trap, as you would say, although it's a Sitau doing it, so it is a Sitau trap. Anyways, villagers still being annoying here, forcing a whole lot of quick walls. Now it's 4 villagers in a small space, so there's going to be a lot of bumping. As you can see, bump, bump, bump. It's not very efficient. Yeah, so Sitau definitely will be loving his life here. Does have to wall a little bit because this map is also not that closed up, but better than ACCM's map. I mean, his woodlines are evenly spread out. This front is quite open, so the berries are exposed, and the gold is right behind that. But still, that's still wallable, right? That's still wallable, whereas ACCM's base is just not wallable whatsoever. Not until the later game is, the gold villagers have to run away from the gold as well. If it couldn't get worse, and if you wanted to get some archers out, now you have to wait until you can get more archers out, so it's gonna delay your production as well. As, quick wall? Okay, good. Good. Palisade wall on the berries, that's necessary. Fruit bush about to run out, only 45 foot on that. So Sitau could wait for that, right? Could wait for that and see if ACCM is not gonna palisade over that. Or maybe just ignore, normally you could micro your manage your villagers to go to another bush instead of taking this one if you see it running out. Now, an archer coming forward here for ACCM, and he was definitely, he definitely managed to do a whole lot with Incas the last game. But this time around, no eagles for him. So it's just going to have to be archers. And that is, of course, a lot less strong, at least the way that ACCM was using it last time. So we'll see how that's going to go. Yep, there you go. See? Idle archery range because the villagers were pushed off of gold for just a second. Also, you need 4 villagers on gold at least to keep producing archers from one range. As an archer showing up right on time, right at the moment that Sitau was trying to drop an archery range, but it doesn't have any fletching right now. So this archer can only delay. It cannot really kill, and Sitau will just double down with 3 villagers. It will delay his archery range a little bit as he's right clicking now a little bit. Yeah, and look, ACCM, he's not trying to stop this. He's not trying to kill these villagers. He knows he can. He's trying to delay this archer range from going up as fast as he can. And now it's skirmishers for Sitau. He's just going to counter what ACCM is doing with skirms. Although ACCM not investing into archery ranges, so not over-investing into archers, which would be risky to say the least. As now there is an overchop in the berries, but now the militia have to run away, so they're not going to get any value from that. I must say that the drush hasn't really, it has done some delaying, right? But it's not the best drush in the world, right? The best drush in the world is the one that kills 5 villagers, which, when has that ever happened? Never. So, it's hard to measure up to the best drush in the world. As one archer is being chased around Sitau's base, and Sitau wants to trap it. Nope. Could have trapped it, but that archer's just going to run away. La-di-da-da-da, just passing. Very nice. And, militia getting an archer kill. That's worth it. Totally worth it. That's value right there. And it's still getting that archer kill. That's something that should not happen with good micro. These militia should never be able to catch up to the archers. They are literally slower. As you can see, 0.96 for the archers. It's 0.90 for the militia. I checked that yesterday just to make sure, and yeah, they are slower, which is why it's so difficult to counter archers with militia, because you can't catch up to them, which means kiting is super easy. Now, Sitau, behind all that pressure, and this is maybe the most valuable part of the drush, is delaying his opponent to the point where he could get his entire map walled. And now ACCM was forced to go for some smaller, awkward walls here. It's not fully walled just yet. Does have a very nice farming economy, so it looks like ACCM dropping a stable as well. Wants to go for some scout play as well. Seeing that Sitau is making a whole bunch of skirmishers, but Sitau is also making archers. So if he thinks that it's just going to be skirms, then he's mistaken. But of course, these scouts, not really a good sign for Sitaux, because he'll have to fight with archers now and hope he gets enough kills on these scouts to kill him. But it's only 3 archers, two archers on the other side here, and ACCM has the hill. There's going to be a critical hill to control as well. It's kind of a choke point, and there's 2 golds nearby as well. So a castle on this hill, very nice. That controls the central wood lines and the central passageway between the 2 players. Now for ACCM, he also wants to control these 2 hills. Stone, gold, both his secondary golds are on that other side of it. So that's going to be an important hill for him to control. But mostly with military, Hun players, you know, they usually don't build castles unless you really want to go for Tarkans. I don't think going Tarkans against Indians is all that good of an idea, as a few spearmen come out for Sitaux, just to protect, give him an edge against the scouts. So yeah, the army on the field right now for Sitaux is much stronger than it is for ACCM. But it's and it's also 39 to 37 villagers, a bit more idle time for ACCM, and also he almost. I'm not actually sure why the vill difference is. Okay, it's 1. It's 1. So that little bit of idle time does lead to a vill difference de facto, right? In any case, as ACCM loses an archer down that first skirmish here, he also sees that there's spearmen around, so the scouts can't easily engage against this. And yes, lots of army coming forward now for Sitaux. He wants to go and continue this Dark Age aggression with some feudal pressure right now. The good micro there from ACCM, but still can't stop the fact that Sitaux just has more military on the field right now. And KD's looking pretty good for Sitaux here. Now ACCM falling back to a hill, bringing in the rest of his reinforcements, especially a few skirmishes he made because he was kind of behind. But the thing is, Sitaux will be okay with this. He'll be okay with this. Because, you know, think about it. The more he can delay ACCM and force him into making trash units, you know, units that are not going to kill Sitaux in this age, the better it is for him. And yeah, he's just going to click up the castle age. And once he gets there, camels are a thing. And then suddenly half of what the Huns can do doesn't really work anymore. Unless the counter isn't made. Remember, before the counter is made, units that get countered can still do a lot of damage. Like, Britons can still kill Goths as long as there's no Huscarls out. And even after, British longswords are no joke either. As ACCM, yeah, buying a bit of food there, so he can go for click up to the next stage, is about 1 minute and 20 seconds behind. So it's going to be rough for ACCM no matter what, as we have an archer range going up, and that tells me that he wants to go either for crossbow or for cavalry archers. Although, I mean, why would we go for crossbow if we have cheap cavalry archers, right? There's very little reason to go for crossbow with Huns. You can't upgrade into arbalest, and well, cavalry archers are a thing. Also, ACCM doesn't have a whole lot of archers on the field right now. Anyways, he's making mostly skirmishers. He's not making any archers. Sitaux, for now, sticking with the archer play, but 3 archer ranges does mean he could go for his own cavalry archers. And like I said, Indians can match what Huns are doing. Although Huns, you know, their cavalry archer spam is unequaled, you know. So when I say match, it's not entirely match, right? It's not like they can make the same amount of cavalry archers for the same amount of resources. That is not possible. That is a Hun privilege right there. Now ACCM wants to break through here and is almost through the palisade wall. Sitaux coming in with a house wall behind, sacrificing his spearman, gets in a hit even, but sacrificing his spearman just to get this house foundation up a little bit. And now the crossbows are here to defend, and he's fine. At the same time, his army making it to the front of the ACCM's base does not have the upgrades just yet, so these skirmishers are not very strong. But he does have has already dropped a tower preemptively on his gold, so at least Sitaux should be wary about going near that. I also like the outpost play, actually, and even an archer here for vision, so you can always see if Sitaux is coming in from the right, because it's very open on that side. So I think that outpost definitely helping you there a little bit. As Sitaux is just like, yeah, you know, that's a nice tower you got there, but I'm just gonna sit right under it and force you off a gold anyways. Still only 2 archer ranges for ACCM. That doesn't really look like cavalry archers for now. Sitaux losing a whole bunch of units here though. That's not good at all. Look at that. Look how many units went down. The KD 18 to 9. ACCM again with the better KD, and now you're up against elite skirms, and that army is going to go down very quickly as well. A nice little wall on the left there to keep the back of the ACCM's base safe. And Sitaux basically losing his entire army advantage. I'm not sure if that was worth it. I think the more cautious play would have been better here. To see, okay, tower, that's fine. I'm just going to back up, keep my mass alive, right? so that once you come out with anything else, such as cavalry archers, which are coming out now, yay, we have way more crossbows available. Sitaux is not even gonna bother with the micro, or yes, maybe a little bit. Okay, he is gonna bother with the micro. Never mind. Dodging the shots like a pro. Look at that. It's difficult to dodge. It's difficult to dodge skirmisher shots though, because of their inaccuracy. They actually hit more often than not against moving targets. Yeah, so his entire army for Sitaux has basically been crushed. But he didn't have to waste his stone on the tower. Well, wasted. I mean, it was well used for ACCM. Honestly, it killed half of Sitau's army, so it's been worth it. And ACCM knows that. He knows that it's evened out now. The playing field has evened out now. It's the same, basically the same number of villagers, but ACCM has wheelbarrows, so it's basically the same. And now the army counts are exactly equal as well. So now is ACCM recognizing, okay, I can go for some villagers as well. So he's going to add another town set. He's not going to go all in cavalry archers here because he doesn't have to. Doesn't have to. We have a few mangonels coming out now for Sitaux. That will be a good way to kill these skirmishers in Sitaux. If he sees it, shot. Ooh, ACCM taking a little bit of damage there from the mangonel. He will know now that the mangonel is there. You know, so there's that. Wow, you get 40 extra damage versus a side wagon. That's crazy. That's crazy. Also, extra damage versus siege. That's mostly for battering rams, honestly. And also with one shot, you can kill an enemy mangonel now because it's 52 damage. That's funny. Anyways, one annoying archer that ACCM had left from the feud late was being annoying in the wood line, but that gets dealt with. You know, ACCM also hanging out in the front of Sitau's base. Sitaux has dropped that town center in front here. I kind of like this TC, right? Because it protects your wood line from the back, and also this gold. You're going to be up against cavalry archers, and they can't really raid this wood line now as a result of that. We also have, we have Sitaux going on in the back of ACCM's woodline, and this is why it's so important to have a town center on the other side of it to protect yourself on that front. I mean, I'm not faulting ACCM for not building that TC there. Now, you didn't really have the map control to do that, but I'm just telling you, losing two villages like that, that's what could happen. If you should you get caught off guard, and if your opponent does have ballistics, it's difficult to react in time to make your villagers move away. ACCM now coming in from this side, and there's a villager there randomly sitting, and that villager is going to die for sure. There's no way that she survives. Nope, she is dead, and now other villagers have to run away. Sitaux just building a house with it. That's usually what pros do. If you make villagers walk, make them build something, right? As we see camels now coming out, so Sitaux deciding to go for camels here to counter the cavalry archers. Now that is a risk, right? That is a risk because camels lacking pierce armor and the fact that cavalry archers can run away if they want to. Oh, but it is nice for Sitaux catching those cavalry archers off guard, and ACCM kept them around a bit too long, and 6 cavalry archers biting the dust. And this is exactly how you counter CA. Keep their numbers low. The early numbers, if you can kill those, make sure they never get above 20, then cavalry archers don't do much. They don't do much. And even camels can beat 5 cavalry archers by just chasing them relentlessly. They will get hits here and there. And that's the thing with camels. They are better at chasing cavalry archers than knights are. Yes, it's only 6 damage, but you do 9 extra damage versus cavalry, which gives you a total of 15 attack. That's more than a knight with upgrades, right? Like that, you need to have a Lithuanian knight basically to get that much attack. With 3 relics, honestly. And camels, and then you still can get upgrades too. So, okay, mangonels here as well. ACCM, don't bunch up your units. Oh my god, so close, so close. He split out of trouble, but oh my god, I don't know what he was thinking there, but he almost got squished, absolutely squished by that mangonel. And Sitaux is like, okay, I'm gonna chase that. That's a nice juicy army to hit with my mangonel. Now we do have a town center on the front here for ACCM, and Sitaux is trying. Well, will have to defend himself against these cavalry archers trying to make their way into his base. Great shot there. I'm not sure what happened. Great shot again from ACCM, killing both the mangonels, killing the crossbows as well. And honestly, that's a moment that I like to rewatch if you don't mind. Let's rewatch that a little bit because we didn't get to see that. Okay, mangonel coming in from ACCM that was forward as ACCM microing against this mangonel, gets one mangonel, dodges the other shot and gets the other one. Wow, that's beautiful micro there from ACCM. Another shot right on the crossbows. That's some great stuff right there. Beautiful. That was really good. That was really good. I love it. And now the camels, yeah, I mean, nevertheless, the camels can still wreak havoc on these skirmishers now. So this is still not looking too good for the hunt player. But still, this is the kind of stuff that you need to do to stay in this game. And it has been very close. You know, ACCM has done a lot, done everything to even out the game a little bit. But you're still up against Indians. And the longer the game goes, the bigger their boom. As you can see, 93 bills for Sitaux already. Only 80 for ACCM because he wasn't on that second TC for the same amount of time. 30C for the same amount of time as Sitaux was. Now Sitaux has some camels here to welcome, quote unquote, welcome at least these cavalry archers in here. So that's not gonna, they're not gonna be too happy about that one. As like I like the siege workshop actually because again this is a central passageway. You see, like ACCM has been continuously using that as well to get to the other side of the map. So yeah. As cavalry archers are being chased in the back of ACCM's base, and the cavalry archers are gonna go down once more, and your numbers getting tanking completely. And again, remember how you counter cavalry archers? You keep their numbers under 20. You keep their numbers under 20. If they're under 20, they don't do much against you. Don't do much against you whatsoever. Siege workshop does go up, which means a mangonel could come out of here at any point, and ACCM should know that. And yeah, it's looking really good for Sitaux right now. Like, I'm not saying it's like absolute domination like it was last game. Like last game, there was just no way for Sitaux to come back in that game anymore. But because ACCM still has options here, like going fast imp, and he's going up the imp. Well, I mean fast imp. He's going up the imp first without booming all the way into his full economy. So he is gonna get a click up the imp, but yeah, if Sitaux notices that, he probably could have the economy to catch up with that quite quickly here. Should probably get some armor upgrades on his camels though, because remember, camels only 1 pierce armor, and that's just because it's Indians, right? Just because Indians get that extra pierce armor on their camels per age. So they will get another pierce armor in the next age actually. As we have some crossbows in ACCM's base, and a lot of villagers went down at the same time. We missed that, didn't we? 13 eco kills for now. As ACCM is chasing this away with skirmishers, which have full upgrades. At least the armor upgrade is that's the last one that Huns do get. So Huns kind of struggling against ranged units in the Imperial Age because they don't really have a good counter to it besides their own cavalry archers. No arbalest for them, so you can't match arbalest from your opponents. That's why you go Paladin usually. That's easier. As the skirmishers chase away the crossbows, which are just going to try to run on the hill here. But I think they might actually get away with Sitaux. If you hide them in the corner here, I don't think ACCM is going to know that. But I guess Sitaux is just going to run away here. A bunch of villagers did get sniped here. That looks like a lot of villagers died actually. So ACCM is 93 vills there. 119 for Sitaux. He's also on the way to Imp. He's getting more armor on his camel. So it's clearly going to be a heavy camel for him. Against the cavalry archers, as Sitaux is also sending his camels around to deal with these skirmishers, but the skirmishers are already getting a lot of kills. Camels now in on the skirms though, and this is something that, I mean, ACCM won't really care about that. He just wants to kill these archers. He wants to kill as many crossbows as he can because he knows it's going to be camels. So that these skirmishers are already not going to be not that useful going forward. But if he can kill all these crossbows, at least the crossbows cannot sneakily get some kills in. Get some kills in while he's not paying attention at his own base. So yeah, the crossbows will go down, and still this game is very even. As Sitaux does make it, ACCM does make it to get to the Imperial Age here. Sitaux will get there in about 30 seconds. And then, well, we have ourselves an Imperial Age game. Woof woof. Now we have, at least both players are on stone now. They're both thinking about a castle, maybe for some trebuchets, especially Huns need traps. Because otherwise, besides that, it's basically a siege ram for them alone. You know, you don't get bombard cannons or onagers or something like that. As Sitaux throwing his camels about at these cavalry archers, which do have bracer. They do have bracers that are pretty strong, killing a bunch of camels as well. But yeah, look at this. You have to continuously micro this now. You can't sit still, because if you sit still, you lose all your cavalry archers instantly. as ACCM is gonna go for a castle on the front of a stone. I like this castle. It's nice on this hill. I suggested that maybe this was a very important hill to control for ACCM, and it is, right? It's the front of his base. That's not a position he wants to hold. Yeah, and of course, Sitaux is not going to be too happy about the castle there, as he's raiding with camels underneath at the same time. He's going to go for his own castle now, a counter castle basically, on a hill to the right. And that's not a castle to protect your own economy, really. It's a castle to control this passageway and also to start trapping down this castle from the relative safety of your own. We got camels raiding on the left, we got camels raiding on the right, and ACCM is definitely a bit on the back foot here. You know, a lot of camels being thrown into his economy now by Sitaux. He's also getting the heavy camel upgrades, which will make these camels a lot stronger. You know, more HP, more attack, base attack as well. As a lot of cavalry archers keep dying. But there is 30 cavalry archers on the field now. They are going to get thumb ring as well, so they fire faster. But they have to definitely be careful not to get close to these heavy camels, because they will do a lot of damage. A lot of damage, I tell you, versus these cavalry archers. And I wonder if making halberdier here with Huns is an idea. Right? You use halberdier to defend yourself against the camel raids, and you use cavalry archers to go for the counter raid. Because now look how fast these freaking heavy camels kill cavalry archers. And look, Imperial Camel Rider coming in as well. Basically the paladin upgrade for Indians, you know, because they don't get paladins, because they don't get knights. So this is as good as it gets for them, heavy cavalry wise. They're pretty tanky units already, so I think halberdier switch might be nice here. Yeah, just bring out some halberdiers, because look, Sitau's not making ranged units at all. So nothing is stopping you from going halberdier here. It's not like he doesn't have the resources nor the economy to do it. Oh, but this is really bad. This is really bad. Look at the massacre. Look at this. Look how fast those cavalry archers go down. Look how fast that went. Less than, like, what, 30 seconds, and boom, your entire cavalry archer mass is down. And they weren't even Imperial camels yet. They are now, and now, yeah, ACCM is defending himself with freaking cavalry archers against these tanky boys. I mean, 4 pierce armor, 160 HP, and 13 attack with 18 extra attack against cavalry. These freaking things kill cavalry fast, and especially cavalry archers. Got the heavy cavalry archer upgrade. I think what we needed here was halberdiers. What we needed here was halberdiers. Something to kill the camels. And now ACCM is just hopelessly behind Sitaux, who is also going to be making some scout cavalry. That's of course for hussars, you know, to start raiding. As Sitaux also wants to take this gold. Now realizes that, oh, ACCM is on the gold. He'll probably send his hussars that way. Trebuchets attacking the castle. It's already 2 traps, so it's not trickle trapping, although one more trap would definitely do the trick there. We have a monastery going up for Sitaux to gather that relic. Now we have ACCM going for the pikeman switch, but I wonder if it's already too late, as he's lost the front of his base, basically. As now the light cav are being spammed, and they will be able to run right into ACCM's economy. And he's trying, man. He's trying. He's not giving this up just yet. But there's a limit to what he's going to be able to do here. And yeah, ACCM says, okay, this was difficult anyways for Hunt, but GG. Honestly, I think if he had switched into halberdiers before here, like instead of heavy cavalry archers, you get halberdiers out first as a buffer between you and the camels. Because camels absolutely die to halberdier, right? They absolutely die to halberdier. Although Imperial Camel probably the best counter you can get, because they're basically like a knight. Like a castellate knight against a halberdier, which is not ideal, but it's okay. I think that might have gone better for you, if that was the order of things. But yeah, now especially that fight that ACCM took here, so many cavalry archers just dying, bam, like that, without doing any damage whatsoever. Yeah, it was going to be difficult for ACCM anyways, but Sitaux played like a beast as well. And with the early aggression, definitely earned his win in this game, and it's 1-1. Perfect. Perfect. It is perfect because, well, we won 5 games, don't we? That's gonna be a long day, isn't it? Rough. Alrighty. Oh, wait. Hang on. You guys probably want to see statistics. Hang on. I got this. We got this. 81 camels created, 101 cavalry archers, and never more than 30 on the field. And that's how you counter cavalry archers. Just keep their numbers low. They can't do anything with them. If you don't have a ball of 60 cavalry archers, that's a sweet spot, right? That's a sweet spot if you get to that nice giant group of cavalry archers. You can just kill everything. Not if you keep killing your opponent's cavalry archers, of course. Looking at the KD, yeah, much better for Sitaux, especially at the end when he started massacring everything. KDs usually get skewed a little bit because the winning player often gets a whole lot of kills at the end part of the game, and that doesn't really reflect how the game did go. So it would actually be nice if you could like click somewhere in the middle, right? Like I could click here in the timeline, and then it would show the KD at that point. That would be kind of nice instead of just the ending KD. And it's not like Capture doesn't have the stats; you just need the option for it. So I wonder if that's an idea. That could be a pretty cool update, actually. So I click here, and then I see what the KD was here just before, right? Everything went to shit. Anyway, look at the economy. Yeah, much better for Sitaux because his economy was better all around. Had more villagers for the majority of the game. And see, even though the villager max for both players was equal, Sitaux got to that villager max before ACCM did, and it's always better to have villagers around longer. So we have a giant spike at the end. I don't know what that was. That might have been the cavalry archers getting stuck. That was the scout trap right there. Wanna bet? Wanna bet? That's what that was. Anyways, let's catch up with the rest of the game. They probably went to a game 3 already. Yep, there it is. And oh boy, this is going to be an important game because whoever wins this game probably going to be in a good spot to win the next game as well. That's how a lot of sets go, right? It's basically a tiebreaker point, literally. As there we go, we have the next game, and we are still 5 minutes behind because they have been going at it like turbo. Doesn't matter. We're going to get right into the next game here. No worry, we don't have any spec delay, so we can get right started. Oh, let me update the scoreboard real quick. Oh, whoa. Hang on. Let me update that scoreboard. I'll just rewind a little bit. Capture still speeds up for me at the start of every game. I don't know why it does that, but it doesn't... It's okay. Anyways. Welcome to the third game here between Sitaux and ACCM. ACCM has gone for Lithuanians. Ooh, but Sitaux has gone for Malians. And I wonder what's better here. That's an interesting pick because, like, it's not as much of a counter. Malians aren't as good of a counter against Lithuanians as, say, Indians are to Huns. But, I mean, still, Lithuanians want to go for knight play and Malians can make camels. It's gonna depend on whether the Lithuanian player can gather some relics here or not, right? Because if you can get some relics and castellates, there's no way that knights can lose to camels there. Like Lithuanian knights with the extra 4 attack absolutely wreck camels and the castellates, like not even close. But then in Imperial Age, if you can get for Rimbom your own cavalry, that of course is a different story altogether. So I wonder how this game is going to go in the late stages. Of course, early stages of the game are deciding as well, and if ACCM wants to go for a lot of pressure again, he might, as he is running around and oh no, is this just going to be the lame Olympics? Yep, it's going to be the lame Olympics, as ACCM is like, yep, now it's my turn again, I'm going to lame you. Just as Sitaux is also laming ACCM, stealing 3 goats as well, or 2 goats, I'm not sure if that was his goat. That was... Nope, that goat must have been from Sitaux, from ACCM as well. So ACCM laming that rhino, and Sitaux is going to try to go stop that, as ACCM has his rhinos are on the right side of the base of his base. So if he gets the front one, it's going to be difficult for Sitaux to counter lame here. Now ACCM, he managed to do this last time, right? But Sitaux last time tried to just block, but this time around he's trying to kill the scout. But I think it is already close enough. It's already close enough to a down center that Sitaux is going to get this rhino. And the downside with attacking the scout here and trying to do some damage to it is that you're not actually blocking anything. So everything is just happening at a full speed, right? So a lame takes less time, whereas if you block it, it just stalls it out forever. So I think it depends on whether you think your opponent's APM is good enough, right, to do 2 things at the same time. And Sitaux is going to go for the counter lame. Oh, but he has way less HP on his scout than ACCM did. Oh, gets a downhill attack as well. Oh, yeah, Sitaux realizes that's never going to work. Or not. Or maybe made a mistake with the click, but in any case, the lame fails, and yeah, Sitaux cannot counter lame, and he has to keep the scout alive, because if he loses it, he also can't push in his deer, which is kind of a big deal. Here. So, yeah, head start there for the Lithuanian player with that lame, and also having extra food already. So, yeah, yikes. That's a nice part about Lithuanians. Even if you get lamed, you always have extra food. So it's not like, it's a nice micro of the villagers to spread them out to make that rhino go under the TC instead of right there. Nice. Yeah, Lithuanians, even if they get raided, right, lamed, right, they still have enough food to click up to the next stage usually and hold themselves over. So if you push in some deer, it actually makes up for that boar instead of just, you know, using your deer. Now looking at the base here for players, so we got an H-shaped gold in the back of ACCM's base here. Very nice. It's on a hill though, so that is a little bit awkward if military gets on top of that. And also players only have, well, they have 4 wood lines, I guess, but this wood line is far away. So the wood lines are 4 in number, but not all of them are equally close. So, you know, there's that. Depending on how you wall this, though, it could be really safe. If you can wall between these wood lines and the edge of the map, that's pretty good. Keeps the left side of your base completely secure. On the right side, you can wall up between the wood lines. There is some gold here to expand to. There's some gold out here to expand to. We got some stone in the front. We got a barracks going up for ACCM, so he's evidently probably going to go for men-at-arms again. At least, yeah, that's going to be men-at-arms. 2 villagers on gold, that's men-at-arms. So yeah, that makes sense to me. That mining camp will go up as soon as he has the wood for it. He doesn't quite have the wood for it because his economy is a little stretched out as well. Yeah, but he'll drop it then. As for Sitaux, he has a forward gold and another gold in the region as well, so it's an awkward spot for him to be sure. Lots of hills here as well, so his base, he needs to secure his base somehow on this side, with walls, maybe a castle later on, something, right? You need something to defend yourself. Has a gold in the back though, so at least there's a gold to fall back on in case, you know, if he needed to. As Sitaux is gone for a 2 militia drush here, so trying to delay ACCM at the start here. Now ACCM can just fight this with villagers for now, and is going to bring out his own men-at-arms later. Now men-at-arms is basically counter militia. They're both equally fast, and they kill militia easily because men-at-arms are way stronger than militia. As a villager on the wrong side of the drush here trying to run away. Sitau's trying to go for it, but yeah, she's going to be safe because the berries were close enough to the TC that she was not going to get killed here. ACCM also walling in his berries. ACCM also stealing 2 golds, basically stealing back 2 golds because he lost 2 golds earlier. Now let's see what ACCM is gonna do with his militias. Oh, he's gonna send them forward for the men-at-arms rush. So he wants to go and attack and just defend at home with his villagers. You know, he's like, the idle time that I get from this rush is worth it, right? If I can send my men-at-arms forward instantly and do counter damage. And look at that, right in the fog of war, so that ACCM can't see it, Sitaux can't see it, and now there come the militia. Sitaux does react to it instantly, so he's running away with his villagers, tries to go for a gate, and the gate separating now the men-at-arms and the scout, and the men-at-arms cannot run past here. The villagers can be saved as a result of that. But yeah, still a lot of quick walls needed, and men-at-arms of course are way more dangerous than militia are. As Sitaux has clicked up the fuel age, but yeah, he's like a full minute and a half behind here. That's going to take a while. I mean, that's drushing as well, right? Drushing always delays your feudal time. It has to, because you're using a like, what is it, 180 food, right, to invest in that. And oh, the palisade walls fail, and this villager might even go down. Yeah, nice blocking there for ACCM, the first eco kill of the game. Wait a second, eco 82? No, wait a second here. Eco KD -2, so it's the first eco kill of the game. Sitaux lost 2. Did he lose a villager to a boar? Oh, that sucks. That definitely sucks. So Sitaux, he lost a villager to a rhino. He must have, otherwise it doesn't explain that eco KD. As yeah, Sitaux wants to get the fuel, so his male gets a little bit more armor, gets a little bit more HP, 800 now instead of just 600. Goes for an archer range as well. He's trying to keep repairing, to keep this mill up because he wants the berries, he needs the berries. But yeah, ACCM has had all the time in the world to go for some archers, here, and now it's just like the first game basically. A lane for ACCM, immediate follow-up with archers as well. A lot of pressure right now, and Sitaux again dropping 2 archer range is something ACCM can easily see, and immediately, yep, there come the skirmishers. He was expecting maybe to see scouts. I mean, drush into scouts is not really common, is it? I mean, the whole point with scouts is that you want to get them out as fast as possible, whereas drushing is to delay your opponent so you can get walls up, so you can get archers out, things like that. So yeah, Malian archers are fine, right? You get most upgrades until the Imperial Age. So it's Malians have that option. They're not as flexible anymore because they lack that gold mining upgrade for free as they used to, because that was stolen from them by the Bohemians. Now their gold mines just last longer as the house foundation does go down. The men at arms, the archers come in, and village will have to abandon the wood line in Sitaux, realizing, you know, I remember what happened the first game. Calls to GG, and this is exactly how you counter a Civ that could counter you a little bit. If you stop the Malians from getting to castles, they cannot get camels out, they cannot counter Lithuanians in any way, and at that point Lithuanians actually have an advantage with the faster trash units, as in Spearman and Skirmisher. Very nicely done by ACCM. Lame into GG basically, except GG for your opponent. And Sitaux probably he looked at the situation, he looked at his map, and he was like, nah, that doesn't work for me, and he is going to call it quits. Now we're going to quickly go to the statistics, because this is a nice opportunity for us to catch up, because yeah, I mean, there wasn't a whole lot happening here. I mean, like, the ACM was slightly ahead, the game wasn't over or anything necessarily, but it was over on account of how much pressure ACCM was going to be able to levy against Sitaux. So let me update the scoreboard here real quick, and we'll go to the third game. Awesome stuff. Let me see that the fourth game. Seems like they crashed remaking. Oh, cool. That allows us to catch up a little bit. So we're only 2 minutes behind. Haha. See, we're getting there. We're getting there. Let me get into the game. And there we go. Let's see if we can find it. Oh wait, is that the game that crashed then? Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, we are all caught up then. We're all caught up. So we're waiting for them to remake their match. Apparently they crashed while going for the fourth one, which will happen in a second. So in the meantime, we can look at the draft here. So let's see what we got here. We got a loss with Malians. We got a win with Indians. We got a loss with Mongols. Wow, so Sitaux is going through his first 3 civs here. ACCM winning with Lithuanians, losing with Huns, winning with Incas. So let's see what he's going to go for here. Let's see. So, but Sitaux still has Berbers, and if you're stuck with Berbers, right, you do not want to have to use Burgundians here, because Burgundians, yeah, that's nice and all, but the fact you lack bloodlines in the late game absolutely sucks against a set like Berbers, who can just heavy camel at you. So the chances that camels are going to come out here, I would go Sicilians here or Vikings, right? Vikings for the early aggression with archers, Sicilians because your knights just do not die to camels. They just don't. Until the late game. Only heavy camels can deal with Sicilian knights somewhat. Not a whole lot, but somewhat. So my bet would be Sicilians here or Vikings, not Burgundians. You know, because the chances of Berbers and Byzantines is too high. So we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, the fourth game is here. So let's get that rolling as well. And now we're all caught up as well. So it's all live now. Very good. If I can find it, that is. Still waiting. I guess we should probably use the link then instead of the ID. Here we go. See if that gets us into the game. And it does. Perfectamente. Oh, okay. We have a spec delay of 44 seconds. So, let's see. Okay, just have 30 seconds here. 30 seconds until we get into the next game. And then we can get started again. So yeah, now is Sitaux going to be able to win the next game? It's a good question. And oh boy, my prediction was completely correct, by the way, civilization-wise. Yay! I'm getting a hang of this. That's good. This is good. Like, I was always worried, like, my drafting skills and my prediction skills was so, you know, I felt like I wasn't able to predict anything because I just had no idea what the logic behind it was. But I think I'm getting a hang of it this time around. And like, just. You'll see in a second. You'll see in a second that we got this. We got this. And boom, there we go. Awesome stuff. Welcome to the 4th game between ACCM and Sitaux. And yep, ACCM picked Sicilians, the safest and strongest pick here. And Sitaux went for Berbers. And see, I expected Berbers from Sitaux, or at least a camel sip from him in Byzantines as well. Well, Byzantine's not really a camel sip, but they have camels, that's what I'm saying. But Berbers being the strongest sip of what he had remaining, it was likely that Sitaux was going to go for Berbers. And the best counter that ACCM had to that was Sicilians. Yeah, so I'm glad to see that. This makes a lot of sense to me. Draft-wise. So good pick by ACCM, because Sicilians, of course, they take 50% less, take only 50% of the bonus damage that counter units do, right? As we have a little bit of laming now from ACCM. I mean, this has been the lame Olympics, honestly. Like, both players have been laming each other a lot. It's going to be difficult for ACCM, though, although Sitaux also trying that. Oh, but he doesn't see it. He doesn't see it. He doesn't see the elephant. Oh, he would have totally lamed it. But now he sees that elephant. Let's see if he's going to go for the lame. Want to bet? No. No laming. Well, ACCM is going to lame. Yep, ACCM is laming. Let's see if Sitaux can see that. He can barely see it. Barely see it. I don't think he noticed that. Oh, Sitaux. Lame. Lame. Go for the counter lame, please. Lame. Just do it. You know ACCM is gonna lame you. Just counter lame. Just do it already. Because you're just gonna be passing each other with each other's elephants. Just lame. Please lame. Come on, Sitaux. Don't wait until ACCM gets all the way there. Oh, okay, never mind. He's laming. He's laming. He's using a villager. Oh, this is hilarious. He is laming. He's gonna lame. Very good. Oh, he's laming big time. He is laming big time. This is what you can do with Berbers, by the way. Look at that. Because your villagers are faster, you are always fast enough to run away from these elephants. They are enraged, so they seem a little bit faster, but Berber villagers 0.88. So the elephants can get close enough, just enough to do some damage, but this villager has loom, it has, it is fast enough to run all the way across the map, and this is what you can do with Berbers. So even though ACCM, yes, he got a lame in, but now he is down some deer. Because Sitaux sending a villager forward to lame that. And yeah, these ostrich and these zebra are going to rot away now by the time that ACCM gets to them to take that food. As you can see, he can see that, by the way, in the fog of war, so he should know a villager is out there. He's going to go for another lame, isn't he? Perfect. Oh, do it. Shoot it, ACCM, you need to get this right now. Oh, God. Oh, he's going to kill the elephant right out here. He's not even going to lame. He's just going to kill it. As ACCM is trying to... Oh, look at that. Wait. Do you see what he's doing? Do you see what ACCM just did there? No. Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, Christ. So what he's doing, he's trying to de-aggro the elephant and then shoot it himself so that it becomes aggressive to him. But now... Yeah, now the elephant is all the way out here. It still means he can still take the food, right? He just has to send his villagers to take the food. It's not efficient, but it's something, right? But, yeah, Sitaux has been super annoying with the Berber villages. And the fact that they're so speedy allows you to do stuff like this. It allows you to do stuff like this. Now, it seems like Sitaux is a villager behind, but that's also because, Sitaux... Sitau's got loom, something that ACCM did not do. ACCM does not have loom yet, and he could lose a villager here to the scout. Oh, and then that as well. Ay. Gets the vill kill. One more shot. No, gives up on that because that's too risky. You don't want to lose that much HP on your vills. But yeah, still, this villager is also kind of weak here. Although, loom now for ACCM, so he can fight this. But Sitaux looking to get a vill kill, but yeah. That's not going to happen. So I'll just have to run away from this. What he wanted to do is wall this in. He wanted to wall this in. That's what he wanted to do. But yeah, for now, ACCM is going to be able to take... the food here. He's also finishing his house because he's about to get housed here. And Sitaux is still being annoying. Look at this. He's walling on the sides of the lumber camp to make this really inefficient. It's so annoying. But honestly, he needs to do stuff like this. As he's just, walling in his own village is not going to work here because ACCM will immediately wall you out there. As ACCM is going to wall that out, so at least his woodline is okay now. But still, that one palisade wall and this one makes it so inefficient because villagers now have to walk around that to get the wood. Oh, shucks, that sucks. Yeah, I mean, ACCM has two elephants, so he doesn't need his deer in the field necessarily. But yeah, at this point, a lot of food has rotted away. Half of it, actually. Man, these really have been the lame Olympics. They really have been, honestly. Like, both players have been laming so much. ACM, though, the first to click up here, because with all that extra idle time, Sitaux is behind a little bit. You know, remember, he had one villager basically running around doing, well, not gathering resources, and then another villager that was laming. So, as that villager's kind of standing in the middle of nowhere right now. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, Sitaux clicking up right now as well, so it's not that far behind, just like 40 seconds, so we're good here. We're good. Now, we haven't really gotten to talk about the players' maps here. We got a very open base in the back here for Sitaux. Its gold is in the back as well, but again, because it's open, that doesn't make it very safe. You still need to wall all the way around that. Berries are forward right next to a hill. But he has two wood lines in the front. That's kind of nice to wall with, so that's kind of sweet. It's still going to be difficult to full wall your map here, but hey, he'll find a way to do it. As for ACCM, he has a forward main gold on a hill as well. So that is an awkward gold, as you can see. It's also quite open on the front as well because of the way the wood lines are shaped, kind of creating a nice open space here for Sitaux to attack. ACCM does have golds in the left here. They're not as far forward as they could be, so they're not actually that bad. No gold. Actually, for Sitaux, the goals are on the left as well. So the left side of the map quite important. So wouldn't surprise me to see players expanding towards this corner in the late game. It's kind of funny when players expand the same way. I mean, it's not like ACCM's base is not wallable at all, but it's yeah, it's still a challenge. As ACCM finding some goats for free, and he's like, "Yep, those are mine now. So not your goats." And everyone is laming everyone here. Now, let's see. We got a stable coming up here for ACCM with Sicilians. Sicilian scouts are very dangerous because they just do not get countered easily by spearmen. And think about it, right? Like, yes, archers also take 50% 50% of the bonus damage only of their counters, right? So, is it 50% less then? Yeah, that is the right way to say it, isn't it? Should be. I get confused. It's math. You take 50% less bonus damage, right, from your opponents as archers as well, but that's only 2. NBL likes this game, right? Right? Like if there ever were a lame Olympics, NBL would definitely be king of that. Would definitely be king of that. I wonder how that would go, honestly. Lame Olympics. As we have Sitaux getting a villager on the farms there. That was a weak build that was kind of hanging around there. Nice find there with your scout. Getting a nice vill snipe. And also the first eco KD kill of the game as well. Now, yeah, Scout's also running in here for ACCM. There is some weak villagers on the farms as well for Sitaux. So he has to pay attention to those. Now, when it comes to Berbers Sitaux, right? No, Berbers Sicilians. Normally, Berbers are dangerous because they can get a whole lot of knights and camels out. But I think in this case, ACCM has to make sure, right? I mean, no. Sitaux has to make sure that he does not make the mistake of making camels here. Do not, under any circumstance, make camels here against Sicilian. Camels do the same amount of damage as a knight does. Because of the bonus damage being halved, it ends up being the same attack, the same damage per second, damage per minute as a normal knight, effectively, right? Maybe like half a bit more, but that's not worth it. That's not worth it because knights in the end, as ACCM takes a few hits on his scout there. Knights in the end can kill villagers, which camels can't really do. That's Sitaux finding a villager in the back of ACCM's base, and that is probably going to go down unless ACCM can magically quick wall that. Nope, there it goes. Boop. And then it is. Nice kill there for Sitaux. Getting a lot of value so far from his scout rush, whereas ACCM not so much himself. He's bringing back his scouts now, but he only has 3 on the field, and most of them are weak. Whereas for Sitaux, okay, most of them are weak as well, so, you know. Yeah, ACCM can fight this, but he has to make... What Sitaux needs to do is just micro away those weak scouts, because that's probably the scouts that ACCM is going to right-click to defend against, because you can actually kill them. But that means the villagers are going to be chasing them, so that's a good way to defend. ACCM getting the walls up, and also bringing his scouts back to defend, I guess. Kill the scouts for Sitaux to make sure that they can't kill any village anymore. Very nice. as house block right very nicely, and allowing him to get that wall up. And now that scout is locked in here, so it's going to go down as well. Gets a scout kill though. That's value. That's value right there. On the front, some more scouts here from the Berber player, and ACCM is on the back foot after all that laming and after all that's been said and done. It is him that has lost a bunch of villagers here, and it is Sitaux who is dictating the pace of the game right now. Yeah. And also, this is fine with Berbers. They still want to get the castle age, because just because you can't go camels against Sicilians, at least not effectively, doesn't mean that Berbers can spam a whole bunch of knights. And honestly, the best counter to Sicilians is your own heavy cavalry. Now, this is a problem for Berbers, right? In the late game, you only get Cavalier, you don't get Paladin, so you do not get a better unit than Sicilians do. After Hallberg comes in, Sicilians have the better Cavalier in all regards. But if you have 2 Cavaliers versus 1 tankier Cavalier, 2 Cavaliers could easily win that. As ACCM killing a scout for Sitaux, it's 3-2, but now the spearman coming in as well. It's 3 spearmen to 2 though. So yeah, Sitaux has to run away with his scouts. As ACCM still trying to get his walls up. He's trying to quick wall here, trying to get the walls up. I think the walls are up now. The spearmen are sacrificing their life outside of the walls to keep the people of ACCM's town safe. And there we go. He's fully walled. And is also thinking about clicking up here, selling a stone, selling 200 stone, not 300. So he still has the option to go for an extra town center. He's not all in or something like that. But yeah, a bit of extra gold to get 100 food, you know, to get the castle age faster. Although, yeah, Sitaux with all that pressure has been able to sit behind here with some good economy to boot. So he's still going to be clicking up here, not that far after ACCM was clicking up. Now Sitaux will be like what, like 10 seconds behind, maybe 20. As ACCM still trying to get some kills on these scouts. Scouts are quite weak, but it's going to be knights now for both players, I should assume. Well, instead of assuming, let's check. Not seeing a stable yet. Not seeing any upgrades on cavalry either, so I wonder. Oh, no, not knights, not knights. It's going to be something completely different here for Sitaux. He probably also recognizes that, yeah, I can only match the knights for the Sicilian player. Let's do something wacky here. So Sitaux, he's going for something else. He's not going to make knights. Yeah, obviously, ACCM is going to make knights. That's that much is clear. He's getting his upgrades right now. But yeah, if he clicked Sitau's units, right, you can tell. No bloodlines. Well, I mean, he should sell bloodlines, right? But no armor, no attack. That tells you not knights. It's going to be something else. 9 villagers on stone. So this was not a decision that Sitaux took. Probably not something he planned for. That's a decision he just took, right? Because he's still, he's still getting the stone out. He should have enough stone for a castle just as he reaches castle age. I mean, it's going to be close, right? It's going to be very close, but maybe it's like half a minute delayed there. As the spearmen are still chasing each other around the map. That's a lot of spearmen that Sitaux made as well. Maybe just to counter the first knights from Sicilians that come out. But honestly, if that was the plan, then yeah. Trust me, making spearmen against knights is completely pointless. It's 3 base attack and then like 7.5 attack versus cavalry. It's like nothing. It's basically 10 attack versus a knight. It's about as good as the knight itself. Now, look, because ACCM sold a stone, he cannot drop multiple town centers, but he can drop at least 1, because Sicilians, of course, get 100 extra stone. This is the nice thing about Sicilians. You can sell stone and still get a town center up. At the same time, Sitaux, nicely timed there with the villagers on stone, has gotten the castle up. That does mean that a lot of his economy is idle right now, either getting stone for another castle or building a castle. So that it does damage your economy a little bit, but hey, camel archers are about to come out. Now the question is, how good are they going to do against the knights? Now, they do have 7 base attack, right? Yeah, so look, these spearmen do absolutely nothing. Look at that, look at that. They didn't even tickle the knight. Now, camel archers do have 7 base attack. They are better than cavalry archers in that regard. They are also faster than cavalry archers as well. So they will be able to outrun these knights. This is true. Sicilians also lack the final armor upgrade on their skirmishers. So they cannot really counter camel archers in the late game. Unless they use cavalier with Hallberg. That's actually their best cavalry counter. Not skirmishers. Because skirmishers only have 7 pierce armor then. The cavalier have 8. So that's better. More expensive, but better. Okay, now ACCM actually sees it. Ooh, that's good. He sees the castle, so now he knows what's coming. Now he knows what's coming. He still can counter the camel archers with skirmishes for now, but it's not ideal because skirmishers can, of course, not chase the camel archers. So I wonder what ACCM is going to do here about this. I think maybe trying to get up to Imp is an idea, or just getting skirmishers out, which is what he's doing now to defend himself. Maybe go for a boom, because, of course, the camel archer player is not going to go to 3 town centers just yet. It's going to take a while because you, well, it's a lot of investment. Bloodline's not yet in here for Sitaux, so Sitaux definitely wants to keep that stable up because he still needs it. He still needs it to get Bloodlines to make his camel archers a bit more tanky. Already 110 HP on those, though. Oh, no, wait, it's 55. Never mind. I had 2 selected. That's why it was 110. I was like, that's a tanky unit, man. That would be really OP. Luckily that they don't have 110 HP because that would be crazy. Yeah, it will be 75 HP with Bloodlines. But yeah, look at that. Base 7 attack, so 9 attack damage for them. Knights get 4 pierce armor after upgrades, right? That means you do 5 damage to knights. That's way stronger than crossbows. That's almost doubly strong compared to crossbows. So trust me, camel archers are fine against knights. Also because they can, they can run away from them anytime they want. But they don't do bonus damage versus knights. That's just versus cavalry archer, as you can see, right? Now, ACCM, he doesn't want to fight these camel archers. He's just going to run his knights away. At the same time, try to get into Sitaux's base from other sides. Sitaux forced into some house walls here to keep this army out. And yeah, for now, it doesn't look like ACCM is going to be able to break in here. ACCM also on stone himself. Maybe a defensive castle could be an idea. Some skirmishers could be an idea as well. Not a whole lot out yet, though. Not a whole lot of upgrades on them. They especially need the archer armor to do well here. Especially against camel archers because they have such high attack for range units. Yeah, it's house walls in the back of Sitaux's base, so that should be stronger, right? In Castle Age, houses do have 1 melee armor, and in Imperial Age they get 2. And how are you doing, Lord Roderick? The best caster ever. Man, should I just put that in my bio as well? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, so the houses, they will stay up in Castle Age a little bit longer now. Not as long as they used to, because it was 2 melee armor at all times, but yeah. Ooh, camel archers getting a snipe in the back of ACCM's base again. The Eagle KD has been completely in Sitaux's favor, even though it's been 3, but still, 3 is better than nothing. ACCM is also slightly behind in the vill count, as in 10 villagers. Oh, wow. But he does have wheelbarrow, but so does Sitaux. So I guess it's some idle time, it's losing villagers, it's also getting to that 2nd town center a bit later, to the 3rd town center a bit later. Sitaux has also gone to a 3rd town center now, and this economy is looking fine. It's looking fine. Yeah, just because I said that Sicilians have the tools to maybe counter Berbers a little bit, doesn't mean that they do counter Berbers. And remember, Berbers always have this as a possibility. And camel archers are really strong. And so ACCM better get his skirmishers out fast now with some archer armor, and also get that 2nd archer armor. You're gonna need it, because now look, 5 pierce armor. That still means to take 4 damage from the camel archers. So just saying, that's still really dangerous. But it's probably the best counter that ACCM has right now. Knights are not going to cut it for you here. Take too much damage. They just take too much damage, especially if you don't get that armor upgrading. Yeah, there you go. Leather archer armor coming in right now. Relic being collected as well. Very good. And oh, I like this as well. A nice forward castle from Sitaux to keep the front of his base secured. It kind of shields this wood line, this gold, this pond, because that's important aesthetically. And ACCM at the same time going for a counter castle. Now, what this does, right, it kind of splits the map a little bit in 2. It's going to be difficult for Sitaux to maneuver around between this castle now, because especially over here, it kind of blocks the passage for camel archers, and camel archers cannot really fight under castles, because they don't have a lot of pierced armor themselves. Yeah, only 1 base pierced armor. It's not the best in the world. Now, of course, Sitaux can still raid the left side of ACCM's base, but I'm saying that the right side of his base is now more protected. Now, that is nice, but You know, he's still gonna want to expand to the left there. Ooh, Sitaux catching these skirmishers off guard, getting into the minimum range as well. These skirmishers do have the final armor upgrade for Castellates, actually also for Sicilians in general. And look at that. Even with that, they still do good against this. Look at that. It's because of the high attack output from Camel Archers that skirmishers just do nothing. They just do nothing. So ACCM, he better make his way up the imp here. Make your way up the imp, get Cavalier, get Hallberg especially, and then maybe, right? Maybe you have something that you can do against this. That's okay. If Sitaux does know about this castle, so he knows he can't get on onto that hill. Now, I think ACCM definitely needs a castle somewhere over here, like maybe on a hill right there, maybe on the hill. Ideally over here, right? But I don't think that's going to go up right now. I think instead it's Sitaux who is buying some stone now so he can afford another castle. And he wants to drop a castle. Oh, wow. That's an aggressive castle right there. Aggressive castle. Oh, at the same time as ACCM wants to go for that. But ACCM does not have army here. He doesn't. And now now there's a hole in your wall as well. And the camel archers can run in. Oh, disaster. The knights are over here. They are into ACCM's base. But again, not a lot of armor on those. ACCM, it's going to try to drop a counter castle. I know it goes up fast with Sicilians, but it's a disaster. Oh, God. The slaughter. The humanity of it. Ay, 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 ay. I mean, look how fast that goes up nevertheless. Only because it's Sicilians with so many deaths right now. So many villagers biting the dust. Castle goes up, but cannot deny this castle probably. It pushes away the camel archers for now. And Sitaux is selling a whole lot of wood so he can go up the Imperial Age. That's the plan now. That's the plan now, and that's not something that ACCM can do. He's still making skirmishers as... Oh, the castle is a doubt castle. Alright, never mind. It is a doubt castle. That won't go up for now. But that doesn't mean it might not go up. It has been worth it, honestly. Look at the Eco KD now. 24 kills for Sitaux. Really good. It's 90 to 111 villagers now. Yeah, so ACCM is definitely behind now. Definitely behind. And yeah, Imperial Age coming in now for Sitaux. We'll be able to get some some siege out, as ACCM wanted to fortify wall. No, it's just a stone wall. Wanted to stone wall the left side. He's trying to do it, but there's a mangonel here with some shots. Oh, nice shot on the skirmishers. Already difficult enough as is, as he's trying to kill the villagers first, so this castle never goes up. Shoot the vill. Shoot the vill. Nice, nice. Snipe the vill. This castle can snipe villagers that are building it. So Sitaux is committing a whole lot of villagers to this. Yeah, so now he's going to sacrifice his camel archers a little bit. So ACCM, yeah, he's paying attention to this. Oh, it shoots the castle, but nope, it goes up. Hey, if it's on 99%, I guess you can commit some vills to it. But yeah, that castle goes up. This wall will never go up this way. The gold is denied for now. And again, Sitaux is almost an imp. Can start trapping down this castle. And ACCM, yeah, he's going to clink up in a second here. Bought the food to do so. And it is an expensive thing to do right there, as you can see. But, yeah, he's got to do something. He clicks up, and he's going to be 2 minutes behind. 2 minutes behind, behind Sitaux, honestly. So, it's, yeah, it's going to be rough, this one. That's a lot of exposed eco, though. If ACCM ever got some cavalry in on that side, he could do a lot of damage. He is going to go for Halberd Cavalier. That is his best option. He could probably see the chopping. Yeah, you can see the trees being chopped over here. So, he could maybe think about the counter there. Oh, Sitaux going for a castle on this hill. That's a nice castle, honestly. That's a good castle. Good castle. As the DC does go up, but yeah, a nice castle on that hill. Not something that ACCM is going to be very happy about. He can see it now, but there's nothing he can do about it. Nothing he can do about it as he snipes that scout that's still left from the feudal age. Damn. This will also keep the right side of Sitau's base safe. Yeah, Sitau's blade is much better than ACCM. And it looks bad for ACCM, especially as Sitaux is also going to get cavalry armor, as he made his own knights, could get cavalier himself. Yep, there it goes. That's doable with Berbers, because your knights are so much cheaper than normal knights are. It's just not a whole lot of military on the field right now for ACCM, and especially military where it counts. You know, just not a whole lot of knights. The unit that he desperately needs here is the right side of his base is completely open. Of course, ACCM is going to get trapped down now by Sitaux, who already has traps out. And there is a giant ball of army here that is going to be difficult to stop. I mean, what do you do against this? You have to make Hauberk Cavalier, right, to deal with this. And then you still have to kill the knights first before you can deal with the camel archers. And the camel archers just getting kill after kill after kill. Eco KD, 54 to 12. It's not even close. 93 villagers for ACCM, 139 for Sitaux. And the wonder is, can ACCM still do it? He doesn't have the resource, and he says no. It's imp into GG. Imp into GG for ACCM, and we are going to go to a game 5. Fantastic. This is the kind of stuff that we like, sets that we like. And Sitaux proving that Berbers, despite Sicilians, doing better against Berbers than any other civ, if you play it well and Camel Archers OP, right, you can still win. And Camel Archers are OP. If you can get to them and still keep your economy intact, what are these farms, by the way? Well, Camel Archers do really well against Knights. Better than crossbows, which only have 5 base attack. Better than cavalry archers, which only have 6 base attack. Camel archers do 7 base attack, which means in small numbers they're much more effective against knights. Which kind of nerfs Sicilians. That is one thing they have trouble dealing with, cavalry archer civs, until they get Hauberk Cavalier out, and even then, it's not looking too good for them. Yeah, and also this disastrous castle for ACCM where you lost like 20 villagers in tow, and then also losing 20 more villagers after the raids started. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Let's quickly look at the statistics, because they'll probably start with the next game in the meantime here. Yeah, look at that KD. Way better for Sitaux. And that wasn't just, oh, it's at the end, so it started to get skewed at the end. No, that KD was already better for ACCM, for Sitaux. Yeah, better economy as well for Sitaux. He got to more villages faster, and also had more villagers, period. Look, villager max for ACCM never above 108, because once he got there, well, he lost like 20 villagers, and he just kept losing vills as well. So, GG. Well, let's see if they have gone to a game 5 while I update the scoreboard. That's the wrong one. Let's see. There you go. 2-2. And, yep, there's game 5. Hype. Oh, wait, that might be... Oh, they have crashed again. Never mind. Okay, then we can go into the draft first. Let's have a look at the draft then. Here we go. And let's see. It was a win for Sitaux, a loss for ACCM. So, now, what ACCM is left is 1 cavalry civ and an archer civ. Oh, yeah? Sitaux has to go for cavalry now. Byzantines can do arbalest. Fast Imp Arbalest is a pretty good strategy with Byzantines, because, of course, you get the Imperial upgrade for cheap. But then there's Khmer, which can spam cavalry. So, Now the thing with Khmer, the thing with encountering Khmer is that they're going to be spamming a whole lot of scouts, right? So if you go Burgundians against that, you don't get bloodlines. That might be a problem if it turns into a late feudal war, right? Like, at that point, you don't have bloodlines, which is a big deal in scout wars, right? Nor do Vikings, so you cannot win a scout war against Khmer. You just can't. Khmer can always win that in the end. You'll just have to spam a whole lot of spearmen if you want to do that. Now that is something that I've pointed out many times, that yes, you can save the wood on the barracks, but it's gonna cost you in map control, because any spearman can push away your scouts easily. So, and I don't know. In Scout Wars, Khmer are kind of nerfed because they don't make spearmen. So, I expect Khmer from Sitaux, but I personally would go Byzantines. I would personally go Byzantines because I prefer the civilization over Khmer. I just don't like Khmer so much. As for ACCM, he might go Vikings here. You know, Vikings are a really strong civ, but of course the economy also with the archers. And if you think it's going to be Khmer, then you want to counter that with your own good economy. Although Burgundians are good at that as well. Burgundians can beat Khmer in Castle Age though. When it's Knights versus Cavalier, Khmer have absolutely nothing to deal with the Cavalier from Burgundians. They'll have to go for pikemen then. But yeah, that's not at a high level. That doesn't usually go too well for you. So let's see how that's gonna go. That would be my prediction, but I'm not very sure about this one. The last prediction I was fairly sure of. This one I'm not sure. It could be either really. So we'll see. So we'll think Khmer Vikings maybe. Unless ACCM counters it with his own cavalry, I guess then it will be Khmer Burgundians. So we'll see. As I still can't find that game. Is it still stuck in the lobby then? Yeah, they haven't started just yet. I could join the lobby. Yeah, because I don't know why, but for these tournament games, they usually don't freaking lock their lobby so anyone could join if they wanted to. I don't know why you would want to do that, but I'm just saying there's always a weirdo. There's always at least one weirdo. Like, when there's 7 billion people on the planet, there's always one weirdo. So you better be sure to lock your. It kind of sucks, right? That you have to lock your lobby for that one weirdo, and the 99.9% people that are just normal and don't do that. But yeah. That's just the problem. As okay, I my prediction was half correct, half correct. At least if they stick with the civilizations that they picked. So you know, there we go. Was it? No, actually, it was 100% incorrect. So then you know what civilizations they've gone for. Like I said, I wasn't sure about my prediction whatsoever. So we'll see how that's gonna go. Well, the lobby is not loading, so I'm not sure if they crashed again here. Because they crashed when they first tried to make the game, and now the lobby is not loading. So let's see if they say something in. If they say something in chat. No, I'm not seeing anything. So. Nope. Okay, that might just be me. Let me use the link this time and see if I can get into the game that way. That sometimes works. Let's see. Wow, there's 19 spectators. Crazy. No pressure. No pressure. Lots of people watching this right now, huh? Okay, yeah, the game is starting now. 4 seconds of spec delay. We should be about to go for game 5 between these two very strong players, and that's gonna be good. And here we go. Yep, it's loading now. Almost there. Always takes a little bit. Boom. Alrighty. Welcome to the 5th and... Okay, we're paused. Whoops. Hang on, let me see what they're saying. We lost sound. Okay. Okay, so ACCM lost his sound, which is kind of a big deal, right? I mean, like... I like it quiet when I play because like too many sounds are distracting, but yeah, not hearing your attack sound is kind of a problem, isn't it? As yeah, in any case, welcome to the 5th game between ACCM and Sitaux. The 5th game that is going to decide which of these players is going to stay in the tournament because this is an elimination game. So I'm pretty sure about that. So it's very important, right? It's very important that they do win in this matchup. Anyways, let's see what we got for ACCM. We got Burgundians for him. I thought it was going to be Vikings, but I did also think that Sitaux was going to go for Khmer, and he picked Byzantines. So, yeah, Byzantines, Burgundians make sense to me. Now, the problem here for Burgundians is still that Byzantines can make camels. Camels that don't have bloodlines, they're both civs that are often played as cavalry civs, right? Although Byzantines kind of a jack of all trades, really. But they both lack bloodlines, and also no attack, final attack upgrade for Sitaux here with Byzantines. But again, the biggest deal, the biggest problem with Burgundians is in a late game at least, it's camels, because you just do not have the HP to survive extra hits, and that makes your paladin so much weaker against camels than any other paladin civ. Except Byzantines, of course, they have the same problem, but they can counter with their own heavy camels, so they have at least a counter there. Burgundians do not have that luxury. But that's late game, right? In the mid game, to make up for that the loss of bloodlines, you get the Cavalier upgrade, which basically gives you bloodlines. Comes with the package, really. It's 20 HP. Added to that. So that's why in the mid game I favor Burgundians here. They have this better economy, especially because you can get your eco tax and age earlier and at a discount. And yeah. Now it looks like Sitaux is gonna go for a lame here as just as ACCM is bringing out a villager to get his boar in. Yeah, that rhino should go home as ACCM Sitaux can just see that, but that is just a tad too late for him. As ACCM does not want to take any risks here. He doesn't want to get delayed, so he just brought in both of his boars here. or his rhinos, I mean, and that way he definitely has them safe. Sitau's rhinos still out here. Oh, if ACCM is gonna go south, is he gonna do it? He sees the houses now. Gonna snipe a villager maybe, because that villager does not have loom. That villager does not have loom. Yes, still walling it in immediately. Very smart. But yeah, see, unluckily for him, going that way means he will not see this rhino, which is down here. Also some extra golds that he could steal. So yeah, he's actually going the wrong way, which sucks. But he does get some nice scouting information. The fact that Sitaux has a main gold forward on the other side of a hill, which is awkward, right? There's another gold right next to it. So lots of gold for Sitaux in awkward spots. And then this gold is also not the best because it's outside of where you're probably going to wall. You know, the wall probably going up there. So I don't know. That's a tricky base for Sitaux, that's for sure. Has berries in the back though, at least that cannot get lame, so there's that. As for ACCM, has berries in the front, there's a gold in the front, but this main gold, yep, is in the back. It is a little bit open on this side as well. Yeah, it's going to be difficult to wall all the way out here, although if you can get some extra damage and pressure in early on, a wall like this could be possible. Although ACCM probably hasn't scouted that yet now, there would be no reason to scout that. As we had a scout engagement now, Sitaux evidently not happy that ACCM is stealing his goats. ACCM is delaying, right? Is even splitting up the goats as well, because he recognizes that Sitaux. Here, look at that. Sitaux immediately wants to take those goats back. He's gonna try to look for them now, but he can't see them. He can't find them because ACCM split them up like that. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, so that's yeah. Look, he's still looking for them because he's like, I should catch up to these goats, right? Where are the goats? Yeah, they're not anywhere over there. So ACCM is just gonna hide this one for now. It might go the long way around. It's basically like a if I don't get him, you don't get him either, kind of a thing. Let's see. It's going to be scouts probably. Yeah, wow, actually scouts, it's 22 pop. That's a late scout build, honestly. That might not be scouts, that might be archers anyways. We have a farm going up as well, we'll see. No one on gold yet, that is the key there. We'll see. ACCM though, he's gonna go scouts. That's not much is pretty clear. Yeah, nothing on. It's completely food and wood economy. No one on gold. No barracks up just yet. Yeah, barracks coming up right now. That's timing for a scout build. So yeah, Sitaux does see that. Oh, he didn't see it actually. Well, at least then he doesn't know for sure. But Burgundia, and she can guess, right? As Sitaux is gonna make this messy. He's gonna make this messy. He probably recognizes that the messier it gets, the better, because he was enjoying that messiness last time around, and that's why I was so confused about what this build was gonna be, because it didn't look like a scout build, but it also didn't look like an archer build because nothing on gold. So instead, it's going to be a tower forward here. See what he did here was a barracks forward even. Man, Sitaux is gonna go completely YOLO, isn't he? Is that like gonna be YOLO trash forward, or what is this? Now the reason why he placed the house foundation, by the way, is because there was a lion there. He killed it, and then you don't want to see it. You don't want to show that body in the fog of war. Now ACCM actually can't see that anyways, but now he sees the villagers. Oh, ACCM noticed it. Just passing. But now he sees the barracks. He noticed, so he is aware of this now. He is aware as ACCM trying to get this wall up here, and this is where quick wall it out. Oh, not fast enough. Okay, just wall it from the outside. As we have, yeah, Bill fighting now, but now you're behind. It's 4 villagers to 1, so yeah, that villager has to run away. And ACCM is not happy about this. He is like, nah, mate, you're not gonna put this archery range right in front of my base. You have not paid the rent for that. There's a nice spearman addition there for Sitaux, sniping ACCM scout. But that archery range is not gonna go up. So for now, the forward for ACCM. For Sitaux, I mean, not really that successful. And also ACCM switching from a scout build into an archery range build. Yeah. See, this was still scouts, right? This was still scouts, but he's going to adapt now with his own archery range, and it's probably going to be skirmishers as well. Like opening skirmishes is not really that usually isn't a thing. Like you usually do something else first. As we have a villager that's kind of weak there. Sitaux with a weak scout gets the build though. Nice snipe there, first eco kill of the game. Yeah, the micro from Sitaux has been really good, and again, this is really messy. Lots of spearmen, and also that's also the reason not to go scouts here. Like, that's so many spearmen on the field already. There's no reason to go scouts against that. As ACCM still fighting with some villagers, but not as many villagers as Sitaux is out here. Yeah, Sitaux has 4 villagers, lots of spearmen, so it's so messy, so freaking messy. But who's gonna win that, and for who is that better? For now, I mean, ACCM's economy should be slightly better. But he did lose a villager, so there's that. So he runs away a weak bill, brings out his skirmishes as well, but no upgrades on him whatsoever. I mean, at least Sitaux can wall up behind this, right? Like, he's using this time to get his walls up and things like that, and get his economy rolling. Still not on gold, so it's going to be skirmishes for now. He built that archer range back home, so he can bring his skirmishes forward. That's not ideal, but it's actually better than what he was planning to do, as a villager for Sitaux does go down. Because now at least if this forward fails, he can still defend himself at home. And so yeah, the skirmishers go down as well. And yeah, Sitaux will have to run away from this now. That forward is over. And that just means you had 4 villagers out here doing... Yeah, not that much, right? Doing not that much. I don't think that worked out quite the way that Sitaux wanted. Very nicely defended there by ACCM. You know, just keeping himself safe with a wall on the left side. And then, you know, attacking with... You know, switching, adapting as well, not going for scouts stubbornly just because he said he would. And there we go. And now it's going to be a skirm war in the middle of the map, and ACCM's micro has been on point here, although nice shot there for Sitaux, gets that kill. It also is going to drop a tower now in the back of ACCM's wood line, something ACCM cannot see and not scan for either, because that's not a thing anymore. Military count slightly higher here for Sitaux, but also remember, half that military for ACCM is also, well, a fourth is also a spearman, which isn't going to help you here, as ACCM is going to drop a panic tower on his berries because he wants to keep control of his berry bushes as well. And this also means he can't drop a counter tower to this, and now he realizes that, oh, tower on my wood line. One of the only 2 good wood lines that ACCM had, that one and this one. This one is very unsafe. Now with this tower, he could take wood here. Right? With the tower here, you could take wood here. Although, you know, Sitaux could always tower behind this. And ACCM is going to go to stone because he recognizes I might need more towers here. I might definitely need more towers here. Now, he's still a little bit behind with the skirmisher play. So actually, adding some scouts now wouldn't be the worst in the world. Like, imagine adding scouts now to counter this. That's... Yeah, I mean, the spearmen were a problem, but the spearmen are gone now. So scouts are actually not the worst idea now. As it's 5-3 skirmishers. Hill though for Sitaux, so he has a nice hill there to fight from. But yeah, ACCM fighting his way up there. That's just going to be even Stevens all around. As yeah, Sitaux should lose his force now. He's not microing this anymore. Nor is ACCM. So now you just have 3 skirmishers attacking each other for naught. Yeah, more skirms coming forward. More of them coming forward. As Sitaux is mining stone out here. That's funny. That's funny. Hey, more stone, more towers, huh? I mean, if there's one thing you should learn about tower rushes, they never end until you stop them with towers yourself. They just don't. Tower rushers, I don't know what it is, but they're tenacious creatures. They never give up. Now, one thing, though, is that Sitaux is investing a whole lot here in the feudal age. You know, he got fletching already, something that ACCM did not do. And ACCM does not have a whole lot of military. He's going to drop a tower on a stone. But ACCM has more food in the bank. You know, fewer farms, but he's not investing as much food. But ooh, quick wall. Just in time to get that palisade wall up, because you do not want to let those skirmishes into your economy. It's already bad enough as is. And there's so much pressure right now from Sitaux, and ACCM he's kind of in trouble here. Like, the defense was good, but the follow-up was really good from Sitaux as well. Like, he's putting so much pressure on ACCM. You know, he has to tower everything to keep himself safe. But it sounds like, to me at least, that ACCM wants to click up to the castles here as fast as he can. Whereas Sitaux is just going all in feudal right now. Although all-in feudal with skirmish is not the best thing in the world. Now, I mean, it's not all-in feudal. I think Sitaux will click up here. He's not going to stay in feudal age forever. He doesn't have to. He's ahead. There's no reason for him to stay in feudal age that long. But he is making a whole lot more feudal age military. That is going to delay his castle age time. Yeah, and ACM needs a few more towers. But I think he just wants to stone for a castle at this point. Castle for some Custodiers, huh? Well, that could be good. I mean, lots of skirmishers out, so yeah. Yeah, 2 wood lines now denied for ACCM. So ACCM basically has 1 wood line now. And, oh god, Sitaux is like, yeah, I know you have only 1 wood line. Let's tower that as well. It's just like New Arabia, except now your wood lines are forward. Anyone remember again why we got rid of the back wood lines? Because, I mean, at least you couldn't tower those so easily. This is easily towered. And ACCM, yeah, he's going to lose access to this wood line as well. I think barely, though. I don't think that tower is going to range those villagers quite yet. Although, I might be wrong about that. Yep, and now ACCM, I mean, you should probably have expected that, but yeah. And the villager also might go down. ACCM not reacting to this just yet, as he sends in military in the wood line as well. Yeah, he can't. The tower cannot reach the villagers back here, but yeah, ACCM has so many villagers that are idle now because they cannot go to wood. They just can't go to freaking wood. A villager going down to the tower as well. He got stuck in a lumber camp, which he deletes now to let this villager out. But yeah, now you deleted a lumber camp. You already, wood was a big problem as well. So yeah, ACCM, despite having almost the food to click up, Sitaux is gonna be fine at that as well. And look at that, that idle TC time. Look at that worker efficiency that is just 10% lower than it is for Sitaux. It is not looking good for ACCM here. Now Sitaux going for a follow-up tower here, but ACCM is like, nah mate, none of that. So he's going to rush that down right now. ACCM, Sitaux trying to repair that, but that just goes down really quickly now because watchtowers aren't as imposing anymore as they used to be. Also, that is also what you get for putting a watchtower against one of your opponent's buildings, because your opponent can always delete that and then just get right in to rush down the watchtower. And ACCM clicks up here, but Sitaux is just putting on so much pressure, and Sitaux has been on the way for to Castle for a minute as well. And it's just, I don't know, man. Sometimes I don't know why this is the case, pretty much always, but really, like, the idea is I'm not going to make a whole lot of military and just going to go to Castles and kill my opponent then. And then my opponent who's making a lot of military should be delayed to Castles, but it's just rarely the case. What usually happens is that you get delayed so much while trying to force your way up, while your opponent is getting a lot of kills, or at least idle time in the back of your base, that your opponent actually gets up faster than you, and that's actually the case right now. It's going to be nightstand for Sitaux, who's also dropping the stables forward. Sitaux is not. He's not going to play this passive. He's going to be all in aggression right now, all in aggression, because he knows how weak ACCM's economy is. But ACCM getting the stone for a castle is going to drop a castle somewhere. I wonder where that castle is going to go, though. Not on this wood line, I hope. That's not worth it. There's not a lot of wood here. I think maybe on this hill. Like, you can put it on the hill here, maybe like right there on this side. Shoot down this tower, secure this wood line, secure the gold, secure the front of your base a little bit. Or maybe it goes up over here to shoot down that tower. I'm not sure where it goes, but we'll see. We'll see where ACCM is going to drop his castle in a second. As he was also on wood over here, just like the AI would. This is what the AI would do. If you raid the wood lines for the AI, it goes and looks for a different wood line. As ACCM has to get his own knights out, but he doesn't want to make knights. He wants to make custodiers, so he has to drop a monastery now to get some monks out for the first conversions, because knights are already here for Sitaux. The Byzantine knights here. Castle going up over here to protect this gold, to protect the wood line. Okay, so that was one of the 2 options that I was thinking about. So I like this. We'll shoot down this tower so you can go back to wood, because right now, no wood whatsoever for ACCM, and he's far behind Sitaux. Look at that. In the eco KD, it's 9-1. So ACCM also 9 villages behind. Yeah. Actually, only 7. It's not that, not quite 9, but actually it should be more because of that wheelbarrow coming in for Sitaux. ACCM is just so much pressure and aggression from Sitaux. He's doing such a great job. He's been so YOLO, made it so messy, and proven that when it gets messy, he can win games here. There's now a conversion coming in here for ACCM. He's going to go for custodiers, and he's not going to give up just yet here, but it's not looking too hot for him at all. And he's lucky that Sitaux is also kind of all in a little bit as well. But Sitaux getting the stone for town centers can just boom behind this in the meantime. That's why the vill count is only 10. It's only 10 difference. Like, that's supposed to mean something. It's actually a lot of difference. Now, ACCM has one safe wood line now. You can maybe expand towards this side. Maybe send a custodier to raid the stone here. So ACCM, so you can reclaim that. But for now, Yeah, and this is also the thing, right? This is the thing. Look, camels. Byzantines can always add in those camels if they want to. And now you're trying to go for a counter raid here. And the camels are right there to push you right back home to your base. So you can't even get counter damage in. And that is the frustrating part. The absolute frustrating part. Conversion coming in as well for ACCM. Sitaux trying to... Oh, ACCM though, getting the kill using that charge attack from the Custodiers can easily kill a monk that way. Yeah, actually, you can one-shot a monk with this. No conversion coming in for ACCM there on the knights for Sitaux. Sitaux is much more military on the field right now. Could just go for this tower if he wanted to. But not when there's a monk around. You don't want to get a conversion after all. Really, if you want to raid ACCM, raid this. Kill the villagers. They're stealing your stone. They stole so much stone from you. Yeah. Town center going up on the other side of the stone now. ACCM also realizing that he has to expand somewhere. I mean, I would have probably put it up on the wood myself, because that's the real problem, right? Like, wood control is an issue. Only have one safe wood line, and wood line that could still be denied by a tower right here, or archers or something like that. Or a monk. A monk sitting in your wood line and just continuously converting. Like, look at this. Conversion switching between the villages so they run away. You can deny an entire wood line like that, and oh, yeah. Look at that castle for Sitaux. I do not think that ACCM can stop that. And he has only one wood line that is safe right now. He is skirmishing with his army on the right now. And instead, Sitaux is like, let's drop a forward Byzantine castle on your face. A castle with more HP than any other castle. I mean, it doesn't have, you don't have masonry, but you do have a castle with 6.2k HP. And yes, ACCM goes for a counterattack, but look at the amount of camels out already. I'm telling you, the best thing that Byzantines have, I mean Burgundians have against the camels in the castle age is Cavalier, but he went for Custodier instead, which has more HP, right? It has 115 HP, so it's about up there with a normal knight, but look at the attack. Only 8. And that's a problem against camels. Remember, low attack against your counter is the biggest problem. Because you need to kill them fast. And Knights, Cavaliers do a better job at that. Conversion. Oh, it doesn't come in either for ACCM. He's going to try again with another monk. But no, that doesn't work either. As he's going to bring in that relic at some point, I'm sure. Castle goes up. And where is ACCM going to take wood now? Yeah, right there. This is the only wood line that is really safe. This wood line is close enough to his DC, but it's not that safe. So he definitely needs to get a castle up somewhere else. Like... there, but that's not going to happen because Sitaux is going to sit right there. He's going to be very happy about this, and Sitaux is like, okay, we can go for a boom ourselves a little bit now. Drops it on stone though, so he wants to drop more castles. He wants to drop more castles here. For now, he's just going to make a whole slew of camels. Camels without bloodlines. So they're not the strongest camels in the world. As Sitaux is taking the fight against ACCM. And yeah, camels should really do well here. Absolutely wrecking ACCM's army. And it took him so long to get the army count up as well. And now camels are raiding everything. Everything. They have some armor as well. Not the best in the world, of course, because, well, it's camels. Lacking bloodlines is the big deal as well. But yeah, that's a good fight for Sitaux. And it's just... the future for ACCM looks bleak here. It looks bleak. It really does. After all that is said and done, after all that aggression from Sitaux, he is in a better position. And that is the whole point with going all in aggression. You need to do damage to your opponent, but you need to make sure that your all-inness doesn't damage your own economy. And I think we've gotten to that point. And if I know Sitaux, he's going to drop another castle and it's going to go right there. On a bed, on that gold, on that town center, on the other side, maybe even here. I mean, then it doesn't deny the town center nor this wood line, but then it does delay this wood line. I think it goes here. Right there. Yeah, see? Right there. Right there. Did I not say that? Totally called it. Totally called it. Boom. Another castle. A castle that ACCM cannot deny. He's going to get surrounded by castles. Wood lines getting denied. This is the last wood line that ACCM has. But if this castle goes up, he's not even going to be able to expand this way. He'll have to expand out here, but look. Sitaux is aware of that possibility. This is important. Oh, ACCM wants to go for a counter castle with a mangonel coming out now for Sitaux, making it impossible to drop that castle. Oh, man. Everything that could go wrong here for ACCM goes wrong. He's trying to get to the mangonel, but he gets stuck between his own houses. Has to lead it to try to get to the mangonel a little bit. Mangonel goes down. So now he can maybe drop this castle. It's only 3 villagers for Sitaux. So the castle goes up really slowly. Really slowly. It's at 68%, 69. Nice. 47. So yeah, Sitau's going to commit his camels here. Commit his camels to get as many villagers down as he can. It is 81% for Sitaux. It is 77% for ACCM. He's getting so close. Another mangonel killing so many villagers. And the castle, it will go up, but so many vills dying here. The absolute slaughter goes up, but there goes the castle for Sitaux. And oh my god. It's not looking good for ACCM. It really is not looking good for ACCM. He's having to buy food here to avoid prediction from town centers to get more custodiers out. There's still more military in the field for Sitaux. He knows if he just keeps denying the wood on this side, keeps denying wood everywhere, so ACCM absolutely has no wood anymore. Yeah, he has to get a castle up something right now, right here. There needs to be a castle right here if he wants wood, but honestly, he's so far behind, and he probably feels so demoralized right now after playing so well, especially the first and the third game, like masterclasses in aggression and keeping your opponent behind. But now, Sitau's position is beautiful. It really is. It's beautiful. He's denying all the wood. All the wood. I mean, you want to see the wood economy for ACCM right now? It's right here. On the run, trying to go out here. And Sitaux is like, oh, you're going to take wood out there now, are you? You see that stone count? Yeah, right there. He's going to trap a castle again. Oh, ACCM. Oh, God. If he sees that castle, he's going to call it a GG. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. As we have a counter rate now, the first damage that ACCM is able to do to Sitaux in the entire game has lost 35 villagers to 3. And he's just going to send some camels to deal with that. It's like swatting a fly of your arm. Whoop. There it goes. Oh, man. This is... It's not even funny. That's how funny this is. Jesus Christ. Sitaux, he's playing out of his mind, man. It's great. As yeah, look at that. ACCM, he probably recognizes that wood control on this side. You know, he sees the outpost, so he knows. He knows that Sitaux knows, so he needs a wood line somewhere. He's taking wood. Well, it's actually for gold, but he will be taking wood with these villagers in a second. Trust me. Once this castle goes up, as we have a ram push on the other side as well. Castle will go up just on this side as the rams come into the castle for ACCM. Something he can't really deny because of the camels. Now the castle goes up. So ACCM seeing that the wood line gets denied on this side. The rams get into the castle. And this should probably be the moment where he calls it GG. Ram push from Sitaux should get this castle down. It means you can never go to the gold. Those rams could go straight into the TC as well. ACM still trying, but again, remember, yeah, look how many villagers died on the wood line there as well. Oh, look at the eco KD. The castle crumbles, and with that, so the crumble ACCM's hope of staying in King of the Desert 4, because Sitaux, the Frenchman, has played so well, and ACCM calls the GG, and Sitaux goes on in King of the Desert 4, at least, well, in the group stage, he still has to win the next game, but man, what a set this was. And ACCM, probably the expected victor here, you know, the best player from Vietnam. You know, probably the one that was expected by people to win. But Sitaux proving how strong he can be as a player and how fast he can be. He did it last time against Hera, almost winning against one of the best players in the world. And now defeating ACCM and kicking him out of the tournament. Well played by Sitaux there, but also well played by ACCM. You know, it was such a close game. But this last game was just a masterclass in how to go YOLO and completely overwhelm your opponent. What a game. Fantastic. And a deserved win as well for Sitaux. Like, ACCM never able to get into this game. Ever. Like, not a single point, right, where Sitaux didn't have control of this game, honestly. And, like, double the vill count as well. You know, this was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Wow. What a game. Just like smothering control. Like every time ACCM wanted to go somewhere, Sitaux was just there with a counter, right? He already had an outpost just in case ACCM wanted to go to the wood here. Had a tower here to delay this wood line. Had a castle here to stop this, stop expansion this way. There's knights over here on the gold as well. It's just everywhere. Everywhere. Sitaux is on top of everything. Just like denying everything. Yeah, it's been beautiful. This is something that I'm gonna keep in mind. Like that's one hell of a way to play Byzantines. That's for sure. One hell of a way to play Byzantines, and having cheaper skirms at the start of the game definitely helping you there as well. Wow, fantastic. Let's have a look at the KD here, shall we? Because we probably want to see that, but it's not going to be pretty for ACCM. Yeah, better KD there for Sitaux. Yeah, of course, camels versus Custeliers, not good for the Custeliers, and there's not much that ACCM could do there because he wanted to go for some cavalry, but yeah, I mean Cavalier might have been better, honestly, because Custeliers have that charge attack, but then they have very low attack to follow that up, whereas Cavaliers, I mean, always have high attack, because +2 attack from the upgrade. Still not good against camels though. Still would have been tough, right? I mean, if you're this far behind already, it would have been tough at any point. Look at the castle as well. It was a disaster for ACCM. My God. What a game though. Looking at conversions, a few more conversions there for ACCM with his monks. Very nice. I wonder if an infantry siege push would have done the trick here, but the position that ACCM was in, not very good. Way more resources collected for Sitaux as well. And look at the difference in the wood count. Look at that. 4,000 more wood collected by Sitaux. Look at the difference. It's crazy. That's usually the closest statistic. It's usually food or gold that goes, that's different. But look at that. So much more wood collected for Sitaux. Well, his wood lights weren't castles. That definitely helped you there. More villagers. Yeah, ACCM made the same number of villagers, but he lost way more, right? Look at that. The boom was exactly the same. But not the actual vill count. 3 castles in total. Super good. Yeah, this has been a great series. Great series. Congratulations to Sitaux. Of course, good luck next tournament for ACCM. He did a good job as well. Definitely fought for his tournament life here. Proved that it was worthy to be here for sure. And but yeah, Sitaux proving the strongest player today, and he will go on to, well, the decider, which decides whether he will make it into the final 8, which is still a very difficult match to go from, because you'll have to beat the winner from, the person that lost the winners match that will be happening later today. So that might be Hera again. It might be, although they'll probably switch that around, honestly. Anyways, GG.